The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and I just want to open up the show to open up a coffin corner already. I mean, it sucks, but it does happen every now and again. And this past Tuesday, we lost one of our brethren in the director world of Jeff Burr. Jeff Burr, as you may know, directed a slew of horror films back from the late 80s on up. He's done Stepfather 2, Make Room for Daddy, Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. He directed some episodes of the new Land of the Lost that came out during the early 90s, Pumpkinhead 2, Blood Wings, Puppet Master 4. You know, he was pretty good in the sequel area, it seems, doesn't it? And Puppet Master 5, Night of the Scarecrow, Beetleborgs, and Spoiler, and The Werewolf Reborn. But if you want to see a really, really, really good movie from him, Stepfather 2, Make Room for Daddy is really good, but I suggest you check out his sophomore effort, From a Whisper to a Scream, back in 1987. I remember watching this, I remember liking this, and I recommend it. So check it out, directed by Jeff Burr, who is no longer with us. Once again, passed away this past Tuesday at the age of 60. I thought he was a lot older than that. I didn't realize he was so young. It's a shame, you know. I always liked his work. A lot of people never took him too seriously, unfortunately, although he tried putting his best foot forward and everything. But it's always sad when we lose one of our own, and so we're gonna dedicate this coffin corner to now the late Jeff Burr. And welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome to episode 585 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein, also at the Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau and Casa de Negative Zero. We are broadcasting for the 585th consecutive week. What is that? I can't even count that high.
I know.
How do we keep track? I don't even know. How do magnets work? How do numbers work, Raven Shadow? Explain that.
There's so fucking many of them.
There is. How many are there? How many numbers are there?
I could go on forever.
A lot. Like over 20.
Wow. I had no idea. That's crazy.
It's a number into itself. Yeah. I think infinity plus infinity, right?
Yeah. Well, there you go. 585. And on this week's show, we will be discussing the film, appropriately enough, VHS 85 on episode 585. It's not like we planned that or anything. That's kind of crazy how that worked out.
Shit. I want to drink some Five Alive and put five to the sky, if you know.
You want to? Johnny Five is alive?
Johnny Five still alive.
Self high five.
Self high five.
Yeah. Fox Force 5.
Yeah. So there you go. All the fives. We can count that high at least.
Yeah. So
we will be talking about VHS 85. It is the latest installment in the VHS series, which I believe is now, is this the sixth one? 6. It was VHS 2, VHS Viral, VHS 99, 94, and 85, right?
Yeah. I haven't even seen 94 yet.
What the fuck? Oh yeah, you weren't on the show.
Yeah.
But we've done all of them on the show, I believe.
Yeah. No, we've done all of them.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was the year he was gone, I think.
Yeah.
His sabbatical. 94. Let me see. Oh shit. He hasn't seen the Veggie Masher.
Oh.
Ooh, ooh.
Uh, VHS 94 has a commercial directed by Steven Kostansky, and it stars Raven Shadow's boy Connor's Weenie.
Hunter's weenie.
And it also has one of the others that was really good was Timo had one called The Subject, which I thought was pretty good. And there was also the what was the other one? Storm Drain from Chloe Okuno. I thought was interesting. Was it Rot Mata or something like that?
Oh yeah, the newscaster went into
Yeah,
the
into
tunnels,
the tunnels, yeah.
the Morlock tunnels. Yeah, yeah.
Also, Ryan Prowse did one MZ, the director of Low Life. He did one of the segments on VHS 94. So definitely worth tracking down. You have Shudder, so
Friend of the show, Ryan Prowse, right?
yeah.
Browser, yowza.
Steven Kostansky's a friend of the show. We had
Yeah.
Steven on.
Yeah.
We've had every single member of Astron 6 Raven Shadow except we haven't had. Do we have Adam Brooks? I don't remember now. Shit.
Maybe
We didn't have
were they
Connor
together?
Sweeney.
Was he with?
I think he
Costanza?
did. I think it was the first one that we've ever had on, wasn't he?
No, Manborg was Matthew Kennedy.
We had
the great
Matthew
Oh,
Kennedy.
Matt Kennedy.
And then we
on,
had
yeah.
Kostansky and Gillespie, the
Yep,
twofer.
that I remember.
And then so we haven't had Connor Sweeney, and I guess we haven't had Adam Brooks. I think I reached out to Adam Brooks and we were gonna do something. I don't remember what happened with that. I'll have to look into that. We should complete the set one day.
Can we get Connor's weenie on here? Because my birthday's coming.
He's gonna get a restraining order against you if we do that.
That's an excellent penis he has. That's all I want to say.
Well, a guy with a name like Connor's weenie. You would
It's
think
Connor
that he-
Sweeney.
I mean, he's got it named and everything.
Yeah, that's true. Marion popped in, said, "Good evening, all." What's up, Marion?
Mama Leia.
Maid Marion.
Long time no talk, I'm sure, Raven Shadow, right?
It's true. Let me ask you what Ollie's fucking doing.
Yeah,
'cause
what the
he's
fuck is Ollie
running amok.
doing? Jesus. Oh man. I was gonna ask you. So you talked about Jeff Burr. I thought we had another. Was there another coffin corner today? Or I might be just going crazy. I thought I saw someone else passed away.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I'll look
Jeff
and see.
Burke's latest.
I'll look and see.
But yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Stepfather 2, Make Room for Daddy, with Caroline Williams, and of course
Yeah.
Terry O'Quinn. He seemed to be the king of sequels too. He did Puppet Master 5. He did Puppet Master Blitzkrieg. He also did what the hell was it? Santo versus the Aztec Mummy. I'm trying to remember
shit.
if we reviewed.
Aztec Mummy.
Sounds awfully familiar.
Yeah, it does. Oh, you know what? That might have been the there was like a revival of it. Let me take a look. Milmascaris versus the Aztec Mummy. Is that the one?
Yeah.
That was 2007. Okay, so yeah, Jeff Burr did that. I don't think we did this. It was like a revival they did in 2007. Richard Lynch is in it as the fucking president of the United States.
Yeah.
Holy
That's
shit.
Can you imagine Richard Lynch as the president of the United States?
Yes,
My
I can
God.
actually.
Yeah.
Holy
I've had
shit.
worse.
Harley
I feel pretty safe.
Harley fucking Race is in it too.
I
Harley
told
Race.
that motherfucker right here.
And PJ Souls is in it.
Oh, of course she is.
Let's see. I recognize Gary Ambrosia. He looks familiar. Does that name ring a bell to you, MZ?
What name?
Gary Ambrosia. No, he looks familiar, but I don't recognize anything he's been in. So, yeah, that's crazy. I don't think we've done that one, but I know I'm familiar with it. I might have done it on another podcast. I might have done it on like OTC or something like that.
Which
Like
one?
Mil Mascaris versus the Aztec Mummy from 2007.
Treat.
It's actually funny. There's several movies. There's the Aztec Mummy. There's the Wrestling Women versus the Aztec Mummy. There's the Robot versus the Aztec Mummy. There's the Curse of the Aztec Mummy, and then there is Mil Mascaris versus the Aztec Mummy, the one we were just talking about.
The Aztec Mummy has more enemies than Daniel LaRusso.
It's true.
I'd like to see Daniel LaRusso versus the Aztec Mummy.
Who would win?
It's actually the final season of Cobra Kai. Actually.
Oh man, yeah. I want to see that.
Yeah, so do I.
Aztec Mummy versus the world.
Jesus.
All right.
But Jeff Burr, when he was really hitting hard when he was making Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, which for my money, still the greatest teaser ever made for that film.
Okay, that's
No
the Lady
other-
of the Lake, right?
Yeah. Like the King Arthur's Lady in the Lake, shooting up throwing up the chainsaw with like the 3-foot blade, and it's got dual exhausts.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. Like, is Chainsaw the only like slasher franchise that lead into like 80s pop culture? Like, obviously, like Chainsaw 2 took the piss at Breakfast Club, and not that King Arthur is 80s pop culture, but like.
Yeah, maybe like fucking like 1080.
Well, in a way, it kind of, in a way, yeah, it kind of was, because I mean, think of all the sword and sorcery films that came out in the early '80s.
Yeah, there's a lot. Oh,
Okay,
oh,
Beastmaster.
hold on about that. Speaking of sword and sorcery and Stephen Kostansky, I don't know. I actually don't know if I shared this with you guys, but so Stephen Kostansky made an announcement that he's going to be doing something with doing a graphic novel for Deathstalker. You guys remember the fucking movie Deathstalker?
The comics already came out. Did he do that?
This is a deluxe hardcover graphic novel.
There were single issues, and I refuse to call them flopsies, as some of our other brethren do. But there's been a Deathstalker comic already out for the last couple of years.
Maybe that's it then, because this
Maybe
says let's see, it's Deathstalker is being resurrected as a deluxe hardcover graphic novel thanks to Vault Comics in partnership with Slash of Guns N' Roses, Shout Studios, and Raven Banner Entertainment. The 1983 sword and sorcery cult classic is being adapted. Oh, it's an adaptation. I think that's what it is. So it says the 1983 sword and sorcery cult classic is being adapted into a graphic novel with a story by writer, director, and legendary creature effects artist Stephen Kostansky. The comic will reunite the team from Vault's hit weird Western series West of Sundown, best-selling writer Tim Seeley, and acclaimed artist Jim Terry.
Oh, I've heard of West of Sundown. But no, there already were single issues of Deathstalker, and I can't believe I haven't told you guys about it.
So apparently, I think they were written by Slash, that thing you're talking about. Because it says, the rock legend is no stranger to genre fare. In addition to presenting Deathstalker, maybe he didn't write, he presented Deathstalker earlier this year. He announced the launch of his production company with a focus on horror. I'm excited to be kicking off a new era of Deathstalker, said Slash. From Tim Seeley, artist Jim Terry, writer, director, creature effects wizard Stephen Kostansky, and myself, our Deathstalker is a reimagining of that fine specimen of 80s sword and sorcery. With fantasy, you get a little of everything: horror, magic, sex, thrills, blood, guts, swords, and weirdness. You know, all those things you can't look away from, and that's what we're bringing. So please, if you share my love of all things wicked, check it out.
Is that Slash's words?
Yeah, that's directly from Slash.
That's pretty cool.
Sold.
Treat.
Wow. All right, I'm interested. I mean, we already like Deathstalker. We did. Did we do 1 and 2? I don't remember. We did Deathstalker on the show though.
I think we just did 1.
Yeah.
That was very early on in our podcasting careers.
Yeah, it was episode 56. So in the second year we did Deathstalker. Yeah.
Wow.
But we did some other sword and sorcery things. I think that might be what I was confusing it with. I know we did some other sword and sorcery films.
Maybe it was maybe I was thinking of Hawk the Slayer.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
I was thinking of Hawk the Slayer comic.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a fucking doozy of a review. I remember that. Hawk the Slayer.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Episode 97, we did that.
Yeah. It wasn't Deathstalker comics. It was Hawk the Slayer comics I was thinking about. So the Costanzi joint is something new.
Yeah, so something new. That's pretty fucking cool. Oh my god, Holly. Jesus Christ, dude.
But getting back to
Go ahead. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that trailer is the tops. I don't think anything can touch it. It's so fucking good.
I'm sorry, which one again?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Oh yeah, no, that trailer, yeah. I remember we talked about that on our show talking about marketing, yeah.
Yeah. Greatest teaser ever. Nothing will touch it. But he had a lot of problems making that movie. Because New Line just wouldn't leave the poor guy alone. They sent representatives and producers down there, slowing him up, and then they're wondering why he can't get anything done.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to change things. They wanted to rewrite the script. They wanted this, that, and the other thing. And the poor guy just wants to direct the goddamn movie. And these people just won't leave him alone. And that's why the movie looks the way it does. It's not a very good movie.
Yeah,
No matter what you do. I mean, you got Ken Foree in there taking on Leatherface. I mean,
what could go wrong, right?
Right? I mean, that sounds like a license to print money.
Yeah.
It does to me. But unfortunately, I mean, even the uncut version, you really need to suspend disbelief in a pretty big way to make it work. It just flounders and everything else, and it's a shame, And it also has god damn it, what the hell's his name? He became a star about say 15 years ago. He was in Lord of the Rings movies. I think it was Aragon or whatever his name was.
We talking. Wait,
Viggo.
Viggo Mortensen.
Viggo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Viggo. Yeah, he became a star, and hard to believe you get somebody, from the Lord of the Rings who was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, but there it is.
Well, how do you get the director of Lord of the Rings to be fucking the guy that made Dead Alive and
Yeah,
the
true,
Feebles?
Yeah, well, that's another story that I've explained many times.
Yeah.
I don't like it one bit. But yeah, but Burr was a competent director. If you look at some of his other stuff, if you look at his smaller work, the Puppet Master films, some of the schlocky B films that he did, From Whisper to a Scream, I think is his best work. It's really good. Next to that would be Stepfather 2, Make Room for Daddy, and forget about part 3. You don't need part 3, but part 1 and part 2 are both really good. I think part 2 is really underrated. I used to have a poster of Stepfather 2, Make Room for Daddy, of a video release poster, and it's really good. I watched it again, maybe about 3 years ago, maybe. Still holds up. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But when I wasn't too familiar with what Burr looked like early on, but when I finally got to see what he looked like, I'm looking at him. I'm like, Jesus, he looks like he should be, not to put anything down on his appearance or anything like that. He's just a normal looking dude. But I'm saying to myself, man, just looking at him, he looks like he should be selling used cars on the Texas Interstate.
Jesus.
He just has that way about him, the way he looks. I don't see a film director when I saw him. I saw used car salesman. And take that for what you will, but I mean, when I saw him, I certainly did not see film director. But he was a good film director, not the greatest in the world. I mean, he had budgetary constraints and talent constraints. I mean, and those things happen.
Mhm.
But
I gotta ask the question: What does a film director look like?
William Friedkin, man.
William Friedkin, when he's alive.
Yeah, not now.
Yeah, he's not doing too hot right now. Every director should look like William Friedkin. Every director should act like William Friedkin. Actually, you know what? I let me say this. I think every director should look like the old 1930s film directors, with the beanie on the hat, the beanie on the hat, the beanie on the head, the big megaphone, not the electronic ones, but those big cardboard ones that start small and end up have that big wide mouth at the end, and with a riding crop so he can start whipping his actors into shape.
Yep.
Yeah,
and those boots
and those pants
that go wide.
The pants that go wide at the knees, and so they kind of buckle out like this at the knee.
Like they're almost like wings.
Are you guys talking about SS soldiers? That's what sounds like you're describing.
What is it?
Sounds like you're describing SS soldiers.
Yeah, and they should have like crosses and black trench coats.
Yeah.
You will be doing the emotionality in the scene.
All right, now action! Schweinhund! Schweinhund!
1, 2, 3, 4.
I think every director should look like Werner Herzog.
Where's the rain, Schnell? Gotten Himmel.
Heinz, what are you doing? Schnell, Schnell. or get in there like Klaus Kinski or something like that. Fuck Herzog, that motherfucker.
What is it, Iron Sheik all of a sudden?
Well, what kills me is that somebody told me about 2 or 3 years ago that there's a documentary based on the strife and the struggle and the fight between Werner Herzog and Klaus Kinski.
That must be amazing.
He said that it was rated PG-13. I'm like, what? Did they edit everything out? Is it only like 9 seconds long? Are you kidding me? How is it PG-13? And he's like, I know. It sounds ridiculous, but it is. There's no way that has to be PG. No, that has to be a hard R, if anything. Are you kidding?
For right.
13?
Yeah. Is Klaus Kinski and Werner Herzog in like a wizard duel, like Grant Morrison and Alan Moore?
Yeah. I mean, not anymore, unless Klaus Kinski's doing it from beyond the grave.
Oh, you know he is.
Maybe he's a necromancer, and he fucking brought himself back.
You really think death is going to stop Kinski?
No, probably not.
Really? You know who looks like Kinski now?
Who?
You know who looks like Kinski? and I want you to Google this so you'll know what I'm talking about. Linda Hamilton.
Stop it.
Holy shit.
I fucking swear. Google Linda Hamilton now, okay? And you'll see what I'm talking about. Then throw up a picture of Kinski, all right? You will shit your pants when you see the similarities.
Well, it doesn't even sound appealing.
Oh, man. Let me see if I can get this queued up on the feed.
Yeah.
Can I borrow your phone?
It is incredible, the similarities between the two. I couldn't believe. When I saw a recent picture of Linda Hamilton, say about maybe 4 years ago, I'm like, what's Kinski doing in Dark Fate? I'm like, I thought he was dead. And I'm like, oh, wait. Oh, that's Linda Hamilton.
I don't think we here at Trick or Treat Radio endorse Monster Zero statements.
Well, now, wait a minute. That's a little unfair. What's so wrong about looking like Linda Hamilton or Klaus Kinski?
Well, I would. Okay.
there's a woman, and an actress, a good actress at that, I might add, that looks like Klaus Kinski.
I have Chrome open right now, and I'm on the fence. I'm not sure.
It's not like your father's looking up trickortreatradio.com for Christ's
It's
sake.
true.
Just Google
All right.
fucking
All right,
the Hamilton.
I'll get the Google.
Hold on.
You know what-
I'm gonna
you know
put it
what
up
Kinski-
on. I'm gonna put it up on
Oh,
the.
Thank you.
I'm looking for the right picture of Kinski. There's so
Yes,
many of
yes.
them. I gotta
Dave-
find the right one.
Dave Raven Shadow, the brain power, please.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Thank
need him for the rest of the show.
you. I do have Marion on her way over to wrangle Ollie. She'll be the Ollie wrangler tonight.
Yes, it's suddenly quiet over there.
Yeah, well, she's on her way, so it'll get loud. But
All right. Well,
But
it's
that's
not.
okay.
These aren't the best ones, but
yeah,
here you can kind of see. Can you see him?
all right,
Yeah,
all right. Wow.
you
Okay, a little
need
bit.
a short-haired Kinski to make this work.
Well, that's
Yeah.
it was the one with the. All right, I'll try another one, but that was the one that was closest. I'll look for
All right.
I'll look for another one.
All right. They're both kind of hot
You think Klaus Kinski's hot?
in a weird, like, if I'm in a graveyard,
If I'm in a graveyard, he's the only corpse available.
maybe
Yeah.
under the influence of some things.
Oh, then you got a lot in common with him. Then
Yeah, he's kind of like the villain from I Come in Peace.
All right, I think I have. I don't know. Yeah, I guess maybe it's a better one. Oh wait, shit! I pushed it. I pushed the feed before I changed the picture. Hold on.
Push it. Well, how old is Linda Hamilton now?
oh God, she's got to be in her 60s somewhere.
Yeah, she's still a very attractive, powerful woman.
Yeah.
I like Linda Hamilton, but when I saw her, I'm like, holy shit, she looks like Kinski. Not this picture, mind you. It's a
Yeah.
different picture that I saw her of.
Like, yeah, looks kind of like if like fucking what's his face from fucking Lost Boys became a skeleton.
But I mean,
But why
it's-
hasn't Linda Hamilton and Sigourney Weaver been in like some like badass like chick picture,
that'd be cool if they did.
right?
That'd be cool if they did. I'd be down with that. And throw in Gina Davis on top of it. Why don't you?
Either Gina
know,
Davis or the chick from Prey. So you'd have like a Terminator, an Alien, and a Predator final girl like kicking ass against some new monster.
Gina Davis going up against Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
But I would love to see a Linda Hamilton, Gina Davis, Sigourney Weaver.
how
movie.
about Gina Gershon? That's a movie.
Ah, I'm kidding. That's a different type of movie.
Yeah, you'd be Gina the Wiener Cleaner.
What?
It's not good.
That's rude.
That's not good.
Jesus, dude,
Monster Zero wrote it.
No, he
so
didn't.
perverted.
Yeah.
I don't care for your perverse talk.
I don't care if your sorcerous ways, Monster Zero.
All right, let me see if I can find a better picture of Linda Hamilton. Then hold on. I got a
I like
got a
Linda
Kinski.
Hamilton.
I got a Kinski one.
Or is it a Linda Hamilton one?
Wait, which one was married to James Cameron?
Kinski.
Kinski. That's why he got so angry.
Hi, I'm here for the Kinski Cameron reception, please.
And
that Imagine
Uh,
Klaus Kinski directing Avatar. Like, let's do that. See what happens.
man, I don't. You know what? Kinski put up with a lot of shit just being an actor. Never mind. I can't even begin to imagine him as a director. Jesus Christ.
All
There'd
right.
be nothing left.
Is that better?
There we go.
Oh wow.
There,
Okay. All right.
there
listen,
you go. Finally, you did it
not
right,
fair.
Wolfie. What do you think of that? He's laughing.
What do you think of that?
Linda
Listen,
Hamilton could be Kinski in a biopic.
MZ has an incredible knack for seeing like people who look similar.
Oh yeah, you want to do another one?
No.
Want to do another one of different genders? You want to do another one? This will really wipe.
Sure.
This will really wipe your ass.
Yeah. Okay. I need that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Where were
Linda
you at
Hunt,
noontime?
Linda Hunt,
Oh shit!
Linda Hunt, and Shemp Howard.
Stop it.
Linda Hunt and Shemp Howard.
This has become a whole new weird, like
Yeah,
beyond
this
6
is-
degrees of whatever the fuck.
This is
now
like-
it's like
See, this is better than AI.
yeah, like some weird amalgamation of
Real. You can't beat this kind of entertainment, folks.
so. Linda
right,
Hunt.
Linda
is
Hunt,
a great
like,
actress that was
as-
in Kindergarten Cop and
like, Old Linda Hunt.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Was
who,
there
and
ever
who
a
else?
young-
Or
Linda
medium
Hunt?
or middle-aged Linda Hunt, whichever Linda Hunt that you prefer.
Okay, and who's the
But
other
she
one?
was in. I think she was in The Unbearable Lightness of Being. I think she was in a. I think it was that one. I know she was. She won an Academy Award for Best Actress or Best Supporting Actress back in 1980. Oh, I want to say.
Yeah, she's the only woman to win an Oscar for playing the man.
Was it Unbearable Lightness of Being? I think it was. I might be wrong.
or was it If Looks Could Kill with Richard Grieco? Because she was in that too.
Some Like It Hot.
Yes.
Richard Grieco doesn't even want to look like Richard Grieco.
I want to look like Richard Grieco.
Well, too bad. You look like a deformed Keanu Reeves, so live with it.
I don't know where the deformed came from. That's a little fucking harsh.
All right, so
dude.
whom I need to know the other person again. MZ, Linda Hunt, and who?
Shemp Howard.
Oh, Shemp.
Sure. Obviously, Wolfie.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not Quasimodo, but I got a hunch this is going to be bad. This is not going to be good. Quote.
All right, I needed to know so I can find like similar pictures. You know.
Yeah. Did you get back? Are you sure you want to press search?
See, the thing is,
Well, it's funny because I remember a few months ago I put up a post, wishing Linda Hunt a happy birthday. And I put up a whole bunch of pictures of her, and one of the pictures I put in was Shemp Howard.
Jesus Christ.
And a lot of people didn't even catch it. I'm like, son of a bitch! How could you not? Ugh.
see, all right, hold on. This is a little bit tougher than I thought because a lot of her pictures she has glasses, and that skews it.
Yeah. Well, look for her in a role rather than just doing glamour shots.
I don't know if Linda Hunt and Glamour Shots will be in the same conversation. Not saying she's not a very good actress.
She's a sensational actress.
She's
love
fantastic. She's
watching
fantastic.
Hey, she's great because you saw her in Kindergarten Cop. Okay, don't bullshit anybody.
And also, If Looks Could Kill with Richard Grieco.
And the only reason why you saw that is because of Richard Grieco. Don't fool anybody.
I'm telling you, he was fucking. I was very torn because I was a big Tom Hansen fan on 21 Jump Street, and then when Grieco came in, when TV's Booker showed up, I was conflicted. It was like I love Hulk Hogan, but yet I love Ultimate Warrior.
I mean,
even though he got blown out before he even got to the fucking ring.
I mean, listen to yourself. You're like, oh, I love this movie. I love that movie. And they're both movies that happen to have Linda Hunt in them. And now you're passing yourself off as a Linda Hunt fan. Give me a break.
Yeah, a Linda Hunt historian. I'm not saying I know her fucking catalog. I'm just telling you, I like Richard Grieco.
All right, well, I don't. This one's harder because I can't find good pictures. Like
yeah.
Here, I'll just push this live, and you can just tell me what you think. I don't think
Any
this.
good pictures for a 40-year career?
I don't think this one's very good though. Well, it's good enough to make him laugh, so I guess that's something.
All right. I guess that's. Hey, Linda, what are you doing?
You sound like Larry.
Yeah.
Shemp doesn't sound like that.
I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know.
Linda, what are you doing? Hey,
Oh,
hey,
Larry,
you're not
fine.
Linda, you're Shemp. Hey, Shemp.
Yeah. Mother
I
Larry
heard-
and Linda.
Hey, Shemp. I heard you won an Academy Award. What do
For
you say we
playing
go have it bronzed?
Hey, Chef, you were really good in Kindergarten Cop.
All right.
Hey, what's Arnold Schwarzenegger like?
Any others, or are we done with this fucking segment?
I think we're done.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, fuck.
And fuck you, Richard Grieco.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Not you. You cool.
You're cool.
All right. Well, there you go. Cool. The new segment. I don't know what the fuck we call it. It's terrible, but. Fucking Klaus Kinski, Linda Hamilton. You're the only person in the world. I actually looked it up, and I looked Linda Hamilton, Klaus Kinski. I did a search. Nothing came. I thought for sure.
Zero searches.
For sure, something had to come up with someone doing a side by side, but nope, you're the only person in the fucking world that that picked up on that.
The fucking search bar came back with question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah,
Come on, when I saw Linda Hamilton looking like that, I guess the initials LH have a lot to do with this whole thing. I don't know, but
Linda
I'm
Hunt
just
and
wondering.
Linda Hamilton.
What you gonna? Are you like Siegel and Schuster instead of double L's? You got a LH gimmick?
Yeah, I mean, next thing you know, Larry Hagman's going to look like Phyllis Diller or something. I don't know, but I mean, when I saw Linda Hamilton, I'm like, holy shit, she looks like Kinski. I couldn't believe it. I
I'm
just
so
couldn't get
hard
over
right
it.
now. Yeah.
Who would be? Pervert. I
Oh,
couldn't believe it.
Corny popped in and he posted a gif of Shemp in the fucking chat room. Oh man! All right, well, that was fun.
Yeah. Great.
Linda Hunt and Shemp.
It's, none of this is gonna make it to air. We have to edit all of this. This is
No.
not good.
It's very good stuff.
So would it be gender swap, like how, like celebrities that look alike, but is it like one's a man, one's a woman? Like, is that the gimmick, or is it just celebrities that look alike?
Like gender comparisons.
Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of same gender that look alike, but
Well, sure,
you're
sure.
hard pressed to find gender swapping, where a man looks like a woman or a woman looks like a man, just in their natural state,
Well, I
In their
think- I
natural
think it's-
habitat.
I think it comes with like naturally aging, right? Like, we might be on the precipice of that, but I think the older a dude gets, he gets a little bit more feminine, maybe a little bit softer, and then sometimes women get a little bit more.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's.
hard.
I don't think that's a thing.
I don't know, but like some dudes get soft a little bit,
Yeah, in the fucking gut.
and the face, a little puffy in the cheeks.
Well, I mean gravity.
It's a harsh
Yeah.
mistress.
You wouldn't believe what it's doing to my balls.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
That's just they're weighed down.
Have you ever thought about maybe getting them tied back? Because I know women who've gotten reductions.
back.
Like, have you thought about getting a ball reduction? Like a little off the ball? Take a little bit,
No. Oh.
Ball reduction surgery.
Because you could probably move better. You probably would help you sit.
Be more agile.
'Cause I think that's part of why you get cranky sometimes when you sit on your balls for so long.
Sit on your balls for so long. Like he
'Cause you
doesn't
would-
realize. It's just like, oh shit, I didn't even realize I was sitting on my balls.
I think it could be that. It's like, oh shit, maybe it's my balls.
It's my balls.
Because you were cranky over the weekend. let's
It's
be
my balls.
That's what happens. That's what he sounds like.
Ow, my balls.
Yeah. That a problem?
MZ, get off of me, motherfucker.
That's
Evil Corny says, someone told me that Caitlyn Jenner and Cindy Crawford looked alike. I didn't see it.
Yes, that's a good one.
what the fuck?
Yeah. Actually, that's true.
Cindy Crawford
I-
now?
I guess.
I don't
You said
know,
it's
dude.
true, so I mean, you must know.
No, it is true. I have seen that. It is true.
It's damn true. I don't know about that, dude.
Cindy Crawford did nothing for me.
She did plenty for other people.
Yeah, it worked. It worked on this side of the table. I'll tell you that much.
It worked.
I'm surprised I got stuck to the chair.
That fucking Pepsi commercial, bro.
Well, she had that 1960s bouffant thing going on with her hair. That kind of made her look a little good. But for the most part, I just never saw any interest in Cindy Crawford.
Well, she didn't see any interest in you either.
Yeah. No, my mom bought me a
Actually,
poster.
that
It's
is
cool.
that's not entirely true.
What the fuck? I'm fucking fat. Now I'm
Yeah,
fucking
what?
riveted.
You actually believe that one?
Go
Look
go
at-
on. No, go on. Well, there's some crazy shit that comes out of your mouth. So you never know when you're being honest.
Yeah, no, nothing. No. Let me just lay it out right now. Nothing ever happened between me and Cindy Crawford. Jesus
No
Christ.
shit.
Okay.
I never thought I'd
No
live long enough to
shit.
say that sentence.
No
Well,
shit,
they were-
Chet. No shit.
I didn't think I ever had to say that.
Wow.
Jesus.
Oh, we were talking about Coffin Corner. So before we wrap this up, I found the other person that I was thinking of. Director Anthony Hickox just passed away on October 9th, and he
Yeah.
directed Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, Waxwork. Let's see. He did some other stuff.
Yeah. Yep. Right.
What did he do? Let's see. I'm looking at his Prince Valiant from '97.
With the cartoon?
No, live action. Warlock, the Armageddon. Fuck yeah! Did you guys see that?
I see Warlock. Fuck yeah. No, hang on. Marion said I'm gonna give her a hug and a kiss, and then she's taking care of Ollie.
You
Well, why
give-
is he going to go up make out with his girlfriend?
yeah, you got to give her
doing
more than that.
Continue the show.
So what do you think about do you know Anthony Hickox, MC?
Well, not personally.
Well,
no.
no. Does his name ring a bell when I say it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I remember. I actually saw Hellraiser, Hell on Earth, in the theater.
Oh yeah.
And I wasn't too impressed.
Yeah, I
with it.
was gonna say you regret that.
Yeah, I kind of do. There's something weird about, when you watch the first two Hellraiser films, and you got this vision of Pinhead in your mind, right? When you watch the first two Hellraiser films. Then when you see him in the third one, while he doesn't look any different, it's the camera angles that they use to present him that really just looked odd.
Mhm.
Like there's this like a shot of him very up close down into his left where the camera is pointing. And when you see Pinhead, you usually see him face front or to the side a little bit, maybe off, angled off to the side a little bit. But when you see him from a different angle like that's so severe, it really kind of takes I don't know what, it's not a myth. I don't know. There's just the way that he's presented in those first two films. And then you give him a camera angle like this, like that, extreme close up, angled up at his face while he's laughing. It just looked wrong. It just didn't look right to me. It just, that movie just left a bad taste in my mouth. and the way the characters look, they just didn't look right to me. It's
Right.
like it was a hard movie to watch.
It was very disappointing. I remember being so psyched for it. That came out, what, 93, 94, I think,
The
with a
Right.
CD, right?
I think it was it was CD. Yeah, I think it was 92.
Maybe 92. Might have been,
I could-
wow.
I could have been wrong. I could be wrong on that, but
Maybe 93, but it was the first Hellraiser movie in the 90s, right?
right.
I think that's right. Yeah, because the first one was 88 and then 89.
And we were like, I had a buddy in high school, rest in peace, Bob Posick. We were so into it. And we're like, we have CDs. There's a CD Cenobite. This
92.
is
92.
92. Okay.
92.
So I'd have been like, yeah, either like, I think I was 14, I think. Maybe give or take, horny, tell me. But yeah, it was not good.
He also Hickok's also directed Motorhead video for Hellraiser
Oh, that's a fucking killer
from
song.
that movie.
That song, that's the funny thing about that. The Motorhead cover of that song, I feel, is better than the Aussie sucking version of that song.
I don't know that I must have heard Motorhead's version if it's in the movie.
Yeah, Hellraiser, yeah, fucking so killer. And it was the only reason that Chris Jericho bought that album at the time.
Have you guys seen a movie called Sundown, The Vampire in Retreat?
Yes.
And how's that?
Yeah.
Eh.
Not really.
Oh, it's got Bruce Campbell as Van Helsing in it. Holy shit.
Yeah.
David
He's fun to
Carradine.
watch anyway because it's it's Bruce Campbell. He's always fun to watch.
Emmett Walsh is in it.
Oh shit, the great Emmett Walsh.
Yeah.
It's got a cast.
Dana Ashbrook.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what I was thinking about today when I was taking Aldi in from doing his business was Randall Tex Cobb.
Yeah.
And I would always
Never get
pop.
enough of that guy.
I would always pop whenever I saw his name in the credits. I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Randall Tex Cobb was the shit.
Yeah.
When I saw him in Ace Ventura, I was like, "Oh shit, this is gonna be good." Then it was like, and then like all of a sudden he was gone. It's like this movie just doesn't seem
yeah.
so much fun.
Oh, he was in Raising Arizona as well. Yeah.
Raising Arizona, they
Naked.
came out. Who was the other heel in that? William Forsythe.
William
Right?
Forsythe, yeah.
The great William Forsythe. But Randall Tex Cobb was also in Fletch Lives. In that one jail scene.
Bend over. What's your name? Ben. Hi, Ben. How are you? I'm Victor Prising.
The Golden Child. Like, I am
Oh yeah.
I want someone to do a Randall Tex Cobb supercut of all his high spots.
Wonder what he's up to. He's 73 now, Randall.
Is he still with us?
Yeah.
I thought he died.
According to IMDb, he's still alive.
Never believe everything you read on the internet.
Well, that's true.
But I want to believe that though. I don't want.
I
I don't
thought
wish.
I still
thought he died.
believe. Nope, still alive. 73. He's a former
Why the hell is he acting?
former boxing champ.
Sure, he should be in the Expendables movies. What the hell is going on with him?
The last thing
Can you imagine?
last thing he was in was Walker, Texas Ranger in 2001.
Can you imagine an Expendables movie with like a real cast? Bolo Young,
Oh,
Randall Tex Cobb, Brian James.
oh.
Oh, he was in an
Holy
episode of X-Files too.
Lance Hendrickson. Jesus. Who
He-
else?
He played a burglar in Married to Children in one episode.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
because yeah. he was-
Ernest goes to jail.
Yep. It was a scene where Al was like, he was like in mid sleep or whatever, and he starts feeling Randall Tex Cobb's butt.
Oh shit! I remember that one now.
He's like feeling his ass and everything like that, and and then Peggy came down, punched him in the face, took him to court, and Tex Cobb is coming in. He's in a wheelchair. He's got bandages all over him, a neck brace, and he's like, "Yeah, well, you were." Al was like, "Yeah, well, you were rummaging around in my home," and Cobb is like, "Yeah, well, that's nothing compared to what you were doing to my butt." And I never forgot that line. It was so funny because Tex Cobb's a big dude.
Oh,
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, oh,
he's a
yeah, it is.
real
Oh shit!
good sized dude.
Did you guys mention this already? But he was in Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol.
Yes, he was. That's right.
Oh.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was the one who led the. He's the one who led the. I guess you could say like a dance along with Proctor. You know, so that
Oh, in the Blue Oyster Bar, right?
no, where they could get themselves out of jail. He was like, "Okay, now spin around," and he's like,
Yeah.
and Proctor's like,
Oh yeah. He was in The Golden Child. You guys mentioned that. Hardcastle McCormick, Miami Vice, Critical Condition. He was in that movie.
I fucking love Critical Condition, which I saw that at the Elm Draft House, bro. For real.
I guess you would have to.
Moonlighting. You guys mentioned. I think. Yeah, that's
Yep.
pretty much it.
Yeah. So yeah,
Blind Fury. That movie's fucking awesome.
Oh, I fucking love Blind Fury.
Brandon Tex Cobb, Bolo Young. Who else did I say? Lance Hendrickson. Who else
Yep.
did I say?
Shemp.
Linda Hunt.
Linda
No.
Hamilton.
Who else?
Klaus Kinski.
No.
Yeah, directed by Klaus Kinski.
So Bolo Young, Randall Tex Cobb.
I want to see
else?
the bolo.
Michael Berryman. Michael Berrien?
Okay, we'll throw in Michael Berryman. Donald Gibb.
Nice.
Donald
Andy
Gibb.
Gibb's cousin.
No, Donald Gibb. Ogre.
Oh,
shit.
yeah. Fuck yeah, Ogre. I
Yeah,
forgot
you
his
gotta have
name, yeah.
Donald Gibb.
All right, Raj.
All right, nerds. But that'd be what a fucking movie that would be, right?
What a face-off that would be with him and Bolo Young.
Right? Yeah, two arch enemies meeting up in the squared circle one more time.
Oh man. All we need was like Billy Blanks, maybe?
Chuck Norris,
Keith David.
Keith David. I would throw in Keith David, sure.
Yeah.
I can't remember who else I said. God damn it.
Oh, we need Vernon Wells in it, though, too.
Yeah, Vernon. Yeah, good call. Vernon Wells. Holy shit.
Don the Dragon Swayze.
And Jake Busey.
And Jake Busey. Yeah, and Jake Busey.
And Jake Busey's 8-year-old son, or however old he
and
is.
Jake Busey's nephew.
Oh, no, it's Gary Busey. That's right. It's Gary Busey's
younger brother.
Yeah, it's Gary
I did-
Busey's. There's like a 50-year difference between Jake Busey and his fucking brother.
I did listen to OTC where they did the same movie, and they were like, "No, that's Jake Busey. That's his son." And I'm like, "Nope, we
Yeah.
know the answer."
Yep.
And then Reverend Scott called him out on it that it was Jake Busey's son.
Gary.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Gary. Yeah, sorry, Gary Busey. Was he Baron Busey? Like, that's fucked up.
Baron von Busey.
Baron Von
Baron von
Busey.
Busey. That's my new Alice hotel rooms. Is Baron von Busey.
Yes. Of the Boston Van Buseys, right?
Yeah. Baron Van Busey, party of 4, please. Thank you.
Corny says
If I go to a restaurant, I'm gonna go as Von Busey.
Von Busey.
Von Busey, party at 10.
Jean-Claude Van Busey.
Corny says Hardcastle McCormick had the best opening theme song.
That was my shit. Because wasn't that show the gimmick where they were two cops that were like husband and wife, but they had to keep it a secret? And they had a great gimmick. They had their keys would be on their wall, and then a sign that would say "Leave the heat on the street."
I don't remember the show, so
No.
I can't say.
I remember it. I never watched it.
Yeah, I think the gimmick was they were husband and wife, but they were secret and they were partners, and they would have adventures.
Adventures.
Oh, Fred, who's Fred Dwyer? TV's Hunter. Put him in
Hunter.
that.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, Donald Gibb, Randall Tex Cobb, Bolo Young, Keith David,
Oh, God, you're
Lance
going to remember them all?
Lance Hendrickson, Mr. T.
Yep.
Got to have Mr. T in there. Now, see, this is shaping up to be. Now, this is a real Expendables.
Yeah, Dirk Benedict.
Mm,
You're going to put in all the fucking A-team?
no, you don't need Dirk Benedict.
You always need Dirk Benedict.
No, you don't. No, you don't. He was in Body Slam. That's good enough.
That is true.
But you do need a wrestler. So how about
We need a good 80s wrestler who's done TV and acting, right?
Who's
Like-
still alive?
Greg Valentine?
Great hammer.
Who's still alive?
Who's still
Give me
alive?
the Kaji old woman.
Jimmy Hart?
Wait, I bet he
Wait,
looks
there's
like an old
another one.
woman.
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking Honky.
The honky.
Talk man.
The honky. Is that what you said?
The Hawk.
that's your new
George
nickname.
Jefferson?
Dude, dude, I've worked with Honky at a convention, and all the old school brothers called him Honky.
Well, of course.
Well, yeah.
Speaking of brothers, Corny says, thanks for trying to add some brothers on that team, Raven Shadow.
I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. Trying to diversify.
Hey, who added Mr. T? Huh? That was
Well,
me.
he said that before you had it, Mr. T.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, Steve James, rest in peace. My
Oh,
Oh.
shit. Carl Weathers.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Got to have Carl.
And that's done. Let's stop there because
Yeah.
it's not going to get much better.
Yes, yes, and Mo, yes.
Carl
Yeah.
Weathers can fucking direct it too. That dude's been a directing machine
Oh.
for the fucking Mandalorian.
I just want to.
Yeah, he's directed a couple episodes of the Mandalorian.
But with that said, would you also add in Lando?
Billy D.
Billy D?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I don't
Come
think
on.
he can still. He's getting up there and he can't move around as well. But
Oh, really?
yeah, I
But
saw him.
he could be the Charlie of the team. He could like leave like voicemail instructions like, yeah, like works every time.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have to be the muscle. He could be a computer dude.
Yeah, what have we here?
Maybe he just needs a little bit of Colt 45 to get him going again. I don't know.
Don't worry about Ghost and Goblin.
All right, let's wrap this up.
I fucking love me some Billy D. Williams.
But I am totally down for this movie.
My dad was kind
Let's
of
get it.
Caucasian.
Let's get it funded.
Yeah.
Carl Weathers.
We'll open up an Indiegogo page and we'll get it
Indiegogo.
moving.
Indie
Indiegogo.
Indiegogo.
1, 2, gotta get away. What?
Corny posted a picture of Hardcastle McCormick, the complete series. It's a 15-disc set
All right, slow it fucking down.
with Brian
Hardcastle.
Keith and Daniel Hugh Kelly. They're a former crook and a judge.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh no! You know what? I was thinking of Recruit It and Loud.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Recruit It and Loud. With Sarah. Where are the zombie girls?
Crickets.
Wow,
Hello, pick
fuck.
up, pick up, pick up, pick up.
Wolfie's fucking burying me tonight.
Hello, zombie girls, are you there?
Oh, Wolfie loves his new toy.
No, I do it because fucking Raven Shadow pops every single time.
Put your little daisies and make them come out.
See?
Jesus Christ, Raven Shadow. Take it easy.
See? It pops them.
Dude, take it easy. Take it easy. God damn it.
Take it easy. You're gonna pass out. MZ knows the fucking.
Yeah,
he knows the
I
trick.
know what it's like. And and Raven Shadow, you have enough trouble just being alert.
I know. I got lots of stools over here. Thank
Whoa!
goodness. to catch me.
What?
What?
You should take Ollie out more often.
I know. It's not lovely. It's a piece of shit.
All right, let's wrap this up. We'll get a movie to talk about, and we're gonna try and get MZ out of here at 11, so he doesn't turn into a fucking pumpkin and get all rotten. And
Well, I got a long day coming up, so
I gotta go to work.
only working for a half a day. Then I'm traveling down south to Massachusetts. Stay with my mom for the weekend, but while I'm doing that, Saturday I will be at Monster Expo.
All right. So yes, you work a half day. You're gonna drive to your mom's house, who's gonna cook for you. Maybe do a little bit of laundry.
No.
You'll get breakfast, and then you can go hang out with our friends.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Where
That's
are you gonna be?
I'm going to the theater tomorrow.
for
Well, Saturday, what are you doing? Go to Monster Expo.
I want to, but I got to work the shop, and then it's my mom's birthday on Sunday, so we're going out
the
to a
shop.
show. Well, yeah, well, okay, but it's my mom's birthday, and then we're gonna go see the. There's a guy. He's like an Elvis impersonator. He's a Creedence Clearwater dude, and Marion. What else does he do? He does Fogerty, Elvis, and Johnny Cash.
does he do Klaus Kinski and Linda Hamilton?
He does not do. I'm like Kinski.
Well,
Kinski.
you're doing it for your
316.
mom, so I guess that's okay.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see. We're gonna go see the theater, the Glass Menagerie. That's a fucking
The Glass
Tennessee-
Menagerie.
Yeah, Glass Menagerie.
All right.
Wouldn't it be the
That's a fucking
Glass
Tennessee Williams play.
Menagerie?
All right. Well, start asking your random routine questions there, Wolfie, so we can get the show moving.
Random routine questions? What does that mean?
Yeah.
Produce
Raven,
zero.
Raven Shadow, you're sitting down to watch VHS 85.
We're not there
What do
yet.
you
Hold on.
Prepare for this movie.
Hold on. We're not there yet. Oh, you're just jealous. You want one of those?
No.
Corny says, what is Raven Shadow going to the theater to see? The Taylor Swift concert? You're a big,
That's out of my price range.
you're a
brother.
big Swiftie, aren't you?
Well, I don't know what that means. No, I don't know. She's got a lot of problems, a lot of breakups.
All right.
with that.
Enough.
I don't know.
So let's talk about ways you can support the show. So there's a few ways. First and foremost, Patreon. That is the best way. Go to patreon.trickortreatradio.com and you can join for as little as $2 a month and you can help support the show. There's several tiers you can look at, and each one has additional benefits. You can get all the way up to a Patreon takeover where you program the show. You get to come on, join us, hang out, and participate, be a guest co-host. So give those a look. Consider signing up. Patreon.trickortreatradio.com. We did record an episode this past Sunday, and I have had a crazy week, so I haven't had a chance to get it up on Patreon yet. But it is ready to get put up, and it'll be up in the next couple days. But kind of interesting topic about legacy in horror, and we have 2 parts coming out this month, but we'll be releasing part 1 first, and then part 2 will be later on in the month because we had to catch up. We missed one in July because of the anniversary show, the 11-year anniversary. So yeah, so that's coming. You can keep an eye out for that. And if you're not already a supporter, you can join for as little as $2 a month and get that episode. And that's it. All right. The other way, head to trickortreatradio.com, scroll down, look for the Amazon logo. You're going to click on it. That's going to bring you to Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link, and everything you purchase in that session is going to get attributed to us. Doesn't cost them any extra, Raven Shadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
That's right. And finally, on trickortreatradio.com, click on store. It's going to bring you to our digital storefront. You can buy the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio volumes 1 through 3. It's a smattering, a sampling of the early years of Trick or Treat Radio. You can hear highlights, lowlights, bidlights, everything in between, interviews, songs, arguments, all that bullshit. You can check that out, and you can get them for $3 a pop. All right. As MZ said, Raven Shadow, you sit down, or maybe you don't. Maybe you're standing. Maybe you're in your car. You reach down between your legs and you ease the tea bag. What do you do to prepare for VHS 85, the 6th film in the series?
Well, to be fair, all those things were done in an order that may surprise you. But before we get there, Wolfie, Mary and I, we did have his and her flu shots done.
Ooh, sexy.
And boosters, COVID boosters done this weekend. And that was fun. And a little bit side effects because I got the Pfizer Soze, whereas historically I had the Moderna was the case that they gave me version. But we watched some movies. We watched, Feel Good, Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? Old school, the one that started them all, the Granddaddy. And then we watched Jesus Rolls, which was the solo Jesus film by John Turturro in the Lebowski universe. You guys heard about that?
Oh, you know what? It's funny. I remember that, but I didn't know it came out or something. That's weird.
Yeah, I remember seeing years ago an Italian trailer for it. But that's significant to the costume I'm doing at the shop for October 28th. But we watched that, and it was weird. It picks up Jesus years later. It does explain the reason why he was called a pederast. And it was a misunderstanding in the scene. But it also got oddly dark. It shows Jesus's mom, lots of unexpected sex, lots of three-way scenes of male and girl three-ways. That was surprising. And I definitely want to get John Turturro a stunt double because he had to ask a golden god. But it was a weird picture, a dark take on the universe, but it still fit. But yeah, Jesus Rolls. It's available on whatever the fuck. But yeah, it was weird.
Whatever the fuck. That's really helpful.
Yeah, it does. Basically, the reason why. Can I say the reason why he did that, or should I leave it for the movie?
I don't do the fuck you want.
Basically, Jesus was peeing in a urinal, and 2 urinals away was an 8-year-old kid, and Jesus was so large that he had to stand away. And the kid made a comment like, "Wow," and he's like, "Yeah, man, you gotta fucking, what are you gonna do?" And then someone came out and saw it, so it wasn't like he was, showing it off. It was fucking weird. Jesus Rolls. Check it out or don't. But before this picture, I like 1985. I like VHS. Better believe before I go to the theater. I strapped on.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, the bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music. Pants. Quoting video games that don't have dialogues.
Shabibans.
Tasty news.
Unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia.
Butt breathers. Uncomfortable nature facts.
Or how to install a thermoflage.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Redoctopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we?
We sure do.
So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
like me,
worry not, gentle listener. Next week, we'll have a whole new host.
Of problems.
Hey, they might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Inebriarch Podcast Network, with new episodes out every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify,
I'm Alex
Stitcher,
West.
or
I'm Andrea
Strictly
Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it. The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories with your hosts John,
Josh,
and Luke. We have action,
horror,
and adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard. Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast. A podcast for the barbarian at heart.
I'm Mike Allred. For the gidgiest listening experience, you got to check out Trick or Treat Radio.
And we're back on Trick or Treat Radio. It's time to talk about a movie. That movie is VHS 85. Oh, maybe it'll help if I put the camera on.
Hey, where are we? Where are we?
I hit the button, didn't work. There we go.
Raven Shadow.
Fumbling around, bumbling, fumbling.
Yep, fumbling, stumbling.
All right. So, yeah, we're going to talk about VHS 85. Fuck, that's so weird. My, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just another weird tech issue. VHS 85 just got released last Friday, I believe. I think it was the 6th of October on Shudder. It's streaming exclusively over there. So if you guys want to check it out, you can. It is, let's see, 110 minutes, horror thriller, and I'm not going to go through the stars because there's just obviously too many people with all the different shorts. But I will talk about the directors, and it features the talents of David Bruckner, Scott Derrickson, Natasha Kermani, Mike P. Nelson, and Gigi Saul Guerrero. And let's see here. For writing credits, we also have C. Robert Cargill, who has worked in the past with Scott Derrickson. He's credited writing with Scott Derrickson on their short. And we also have Zoe Cooper, Evan Dixon, and then the directors. Some of the directors wrote their own segments. So the synopsis of this one: unveiled through a made-for-TV documentary, 5 tales of found footage horror emerge to take viewers on a terrifying journey into the grim underbelly of the 1980s. All right, so let's dive in. Let's do some first impressions with this one here. So I would say the VHS series has generally been pretty good. I think we get more hits than misses generally. Depends. Some of the films I think have more misses than hits, but I think by and large there's a good amount to like in the series so far. And it's interesting because initially it was just VHS and then VHS 2. And then we had VHS Viral, which was more modern, right? Like viral as in social media age.
And then the GoPro scene, the GoPro zombie gimmick.
And then we started going back in time, and it was like 99, 94, 85. So I wonder what's next. Like, are we doing 79? Like, some people might have had cameras back then.
Right, like 81. It would be like 84, 86, I would think.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
97.
So I don't really know. I kind of hope they get away from the year gimmick after this. And I didn't mind it in this. I feel like it worked. And this one felt the most cohesive in terms of like having it tied to a year for me anyways. But I don't know, like I feel like this is just a general feel for the entire series. The gimmick sometimes outweighs the talent. If that makes sense to you guys. Where I feel like the gimmick almost brings down the quality and you don't get the full talent of the filmmakers because they're trying to hit this gimmick. I'm all for gimmicks. Like, we talked about this a little bit. I don't want to compare this at all to The Last Voyage of the Demeter, but that gimmick I felt weighed that movie down. Like, I thought there was a good movie there, but the gimmick of keeping it on the boat, and having it just be the captain's log chapter, I feel like weighed that down a little bit too much. So I feel like with this, I think the gimmick hinders the effort a little bit. Not to say that I didn't like it. We'll get into the nuts and bolts of it and the minutia of it, but generally, it's a bit of a, for me anyways, not speaking about anyone else, but it's a bit of a I don't know, it's a bit of a drudge to like get through an entire near 2-hour movie where I feel like I want to adjust the tracking in like all the time. It's like I get what you're going for. I get that this is a gimmick, but back in the day when that happened, I would adjust the fucking tracking so I didn't have to see it. And if I had a tape like that, I wouldn't fucking watch it because it's so annoying. Like that's where I feel like the gimmick really interferes with the talent. I paused because I thought you were going to say something, Raven Shadow.
I was watching Monster Zero too.
Oh, okay.
I was Big Shadow. So go ahead.
It was like a weird, like,
everyone we're all respectful standoff. All of a sudden. Yeah.
That was a sort of an inception moment going on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It was like Quentin Tarantino instead of guns. Everyone's like going,
yeah.
It was about to talk. And that's fair. Like, and I think, gimmick is a term that I it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's the premise. It's the whatever the fuck. Batman has a bat gimmick. That's his gimmick. He's dark and brooding. But I don't need a lot of backstory. I think just if all these shorts were on a tape that someone put play, that's really all I need. I don't need to really feel like I'm.
And that's what I feel like this one did. Like that to me, this in that situation, I feel like this one was the most contiguous. Like it felt like I just literally borrowed a tape from someone, and then this is what I would see. Others sort of had that, but I feel like they didn't all look the same. Some had the like the static and like tracking issues.
I don't.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
You know, like I don't need that. Like it was kind of cool. Like there was an old commercial, the classic one of the two like mugs of beer, and they had the car crash sound effects.
I remember
you
that
know.
commercial.
Yeah, we all did. You know, from a certain generation. But like, and I think overall, we always get excited for kind of like, or I know I do get excited for found footage. Like, what are they gonna do with the conceit? But like, I don't waste fucking time with a wraparound. I don't need the opening scene to be like SWAT guys breaking into a villain's lair and putting tapes in to figure shit out. Like, I think just the year and the VHS gimmick is the conceit that everything you're seeing is found footage set in a certain time frame. And it's 15 to 20 minutes. I don't need a lot of backstory in it. Just this is explaining what I'm watching.
Right.
Oh, the assignment, right? That's the assignment.
Yeah.
I like the idea. I like the idea of the wraparound, though.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
but I think this is the wrong wraparound for this anthology. I think what would be better, and I think what would be scarier, is if, like they did in the first one or two films, where they went upon this person's house, person unknown, who he is or she is, what they look like, or anything like that, except they got a bunch of videotapes in their house, and there's this wild shit going on each and every tape. I find that interesting. I find it that whoever is with it is a definite collector, possibly of snuff films. If you want to take,
I was going to say, next one they're going to go to your fucking house.
Yeah, right. But what they did here this time around, I mean, I don't know about the last film because I haven't seen it, and I'm trying to remember about the other films, is that they started linking the stories up with each other. It didn't seem like they did that with all of them in this one, but they did it. I know they definitely linked two together, two different shorts together. There's a link,
which I actually like that.
I did too, and it shows that it shows that. See, the fact that they were doing this to make a documentary, to me that doesn't work. I think if it was just somebody's place, then that way it kind of shows like maybe this person here has something to do with everything that's going on in these short stories that we're watching.
Yeah,
like a mastermind. Behind
like
the
the
scene,
puppet master. He pulled the strings, So
Renfield, get my camera, my RCA camera.
Get my Betamax.
Renfield, be kind and rewind.
SP, you fool, not EP. SP.
Longer life, Renfield.
Now, as far as with my history of this franchise, to me, there's more misses than hits.
Wow.
The problem with this franchise that I find most of all is the fact that you got decent stories, but they don't know how to tell them cohesively or comprehensively. They're just, I don't know if it's a lack of budget, a lack of time, maybe they're pressed for time for trying to squeeze in a story in such a short time frame. Obviously, some stories get a longer runtime than others. I don't know why, but that's how it works out. But you just kind of know you just notice these things, or at least I notice it. And another thing that I've noticed, especially watching this, I don't know what made me notice this while watching this movie, when I could have noticed it through any other found footage movie or short. I don't know what made me think of it now, but man, whenever the person gets whenever the person who's holding the camera gets hit, whether it be getting hit like a blunt force trauma or actually get killed, the camera always seems to be aiming towards an area that is beneficial to the viewer.
Well, sure. I mean,
I understand you have to do that in order to move the movie along. I get it, but it seems like, if there were like 200 chances of this happening, it's going to happen at least 199 times. So, and I'm trying to think of, man, that's such incredible luck to have the camera focused and aiming towards a certain area where something is going to happen after they've expired.
I mean, I get it, but at the end of the day, it is a movie. So,
yeah,
we're getting that perfect shot of it because, because it's written,
Yeah, but it's not a complaint. It's just more of an observation, really.
If you didn't see that and you got a shitty shot, then you'd I'm not saying you, but people would be complaining that, I couldn't even tell what was going on there, So you can't win with that.
Then you get that fucking movie about the hallway in the darkness. What's that movie? Not the Babadook, but the fucking Shutterhook.
What?
Bummerclot. What's it called? What? That movie about the Legos at nighttime.
Oh, Skinamarink.
Yeah. Then you get fucking Skinamarink, and that sucks. That's the fucking Emperor's New Clothes of fucking movies.
Wow.
Fuck you, Skinamarink. Sorry to hear it here.
But I mean, like I said, it's not really a complaint. It's more of an observation.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, they're making films. So, I mean,
yeah,
it's just one of those things you have to. It's going to happen, or otherwise people. Yeah,
I know.
So, I guess in terms of first impressions, I think overall, I didn't think that there was a stinker in this one per se.
No.
There was some that I didn't like as much as others, definitely. But for me to be like, yeah, you know what, this one was by far the worst of the bunch. I mean, I guess I could probably pick one if I had to pick my least favorite, but it's not cut and dry like some of the others. I think a lot of them are I think these ones are a little bit more middling. There's less highs and less lows, but it's just sort of right in that middle ground for me, which I think I'd prefer the opposite, honestly. I think I'd prefer higher highs and lower lows than something that's just kind of riding in the middle. But there was the good. I feel like there's some scenes that really elevate some of the shorts. So, for instance, we'll talk about God of Death, directed by Gigi Saul Guerrero. The end of that was fucking awesome.
Oh, that one, yeah.
The earthquake one.
Yes.
So that one I thought was the end. I thought was great. Leading up to it, it just had sort of a bizarre build, and I get what they're going for. They're doing a newscast and all that. We're seeing kind of behind the scenes stuff of the newscast, and all of a sudden something happens, and it was interesting because we went on this journey there that I didn't necessarily expect from the beginning. So that, in a way, I didn't mind, but there was a lot of same stuff in the middle. It was okay, well, let's go this way, let's go that way, let's go this way. I feel like they could have cut down on that and maybe expanded the end a little bit. And I'm just using that one as an example because I thought the end was great. And I really liked what they did with that. And I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of that.
I think this was one of the most consistent ones of memory.
Except for two. The second VHS is by far the best one for me. Mostly because of Safe Haven, and then also the Jason Eisner one with the alien, the aliens and the dog with the GoPro.
And to your point, Wolfie, I think you remember the high spots.
Yeah.
Right of them, and the low spots. So yes, I am not. I am with that. But I thought this had to your point again. This is maybe the VHS tapes that Goldilocks chose. It was
just right. Yeah.
just right. Not without flaws, but like there were a couple that I really popped for, and I'm not sure how we want to do it, but like especially the camping.
Yeah, the
segment.
first the first one with the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
we'll do them we'll go through them one at a time. So you don't have you can kind of give some thoughts, but you don't have to like focus on any one. We'll go through them.
And I think this just once again, I totally agree with this is the middle of the road. Is it better or worse than other installments? Well, let's take that journey together. But overall, I think this was a very consistent interpretation of the saga.
I think that's fair. Yeah. How about you, MZ? First impression?
Well, yeah, I might have to agree with Raven Shadow here. I just felt like
timestamp.
It was, and agree with you for that matter. It was very middling. There were some, drudging to get through, like the second one. I agree with you, Wolfie, on the second one there, where they could have knocked out some of that rescue effort.
Yeah.
And get to the meat of the matter. And when they got to it, it was pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's others that were just like, just trying to figure out just what the hell is going on. I think it was the fourth. I might be wrong. It's the fourth story.
I think I think if I'm not mistaken, I think the fourth one was Dreamkill with
no. Okay, that wouldn't be that.
I think I could be wrong.
I thought Dreamkill was the last one.
No.
What's the last one then? What am I forgetting?
The one with the videotapes, the futuristic sort of killer guy. The goth kid got brought into the police station.
Yeah. Isn't that Dreamkill?
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're right. I mixed up. I mixed them up. Okay. I don't know which one is.
Well, either way,
there was Dreamkill and there was Rudy or the Raoul or whatever the alien's name was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. I think the one that had the most potential and was a big letdown was, I think, the third one, the Cult.
Oh, with
the seven,
the seven with the
sevens, which I think to me that one looked like that could have been a winner. But the way it ended, I'm like, son of a bitch, you motherfuckers! You had it. You had it. It was in the palm of your hands. You had it, and you dropped the ball. Curly Neal, you ain't. You dropped the goddamn ball.
Like Shawn Michaels.
You had a great premise here. A family that's having a big celebration, and they show videotapes, and it turns out there's this big cult, and I think what they had to do, what was it, like they had to kill 7 people, and if they killed 7 people,
it was on like
they lived like 7 lives. So like if they were killed, they instantly come back to life, and they all have like tattoos of the Roman numeral 7 on their wrist, and they do a kind of a fucked up salute like they would for Dr. Claw, and
Hail Scroob.
and then then for no reason at all, the police show up while they're having this big celebration, which is great, which means that they've been under observation this whole time. Okay. And
Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because at the beginning of the first one, they had video of the license plate.
Right.
Okay, all right, but still the cop, regardless, the cops show up.
Yeah.
Then they whip out an arsenal of weapons that would make Arnold Schwarzenegger cream in his pants. You know, and
get my napkins.
Where's my Vaseline?
Where's my ShamWow?
And and everyone just starts going to town, but the way they ended it, I'm like, no. Oh, that was such a disappointment.
So, but overall, sounds like your impression was it was a little. You agreed with us, a little bit middling. There was some balls dropped.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I agree, definitely.
So let's dive into each one a little bit individually. We'll talk about the directors in each. So first one, I actually don't know. It doesn't say who did the wraparound.
Wraparound. Everybody's doing the wraparound.
Let me see if I can find some more info on that and see if it. Let's see. All right. Looking on. Okay, so
I don't think this wraparound took away from the plot where some other ones have. I mean, there's a lot of found footage, anthologies we've done over the years of this program and in real life. I like, not that I love this movie the most, but I like the simplicity of, say, like, what was the Advent Calendar movie we did? MZ might not have been with us.
Calendar.
And it just showed like cool, like Game of Thrones inspired, like, December 2nd, and that was enough to take you on the journey. Sometimes I wonder, like, you're spending too much money on the wraparound. Like, I'd rather have 4 minutes more of each story. A wraparound.
Get up and get down.
Get down. That House of Pain song.
I see why. Okay, so IMDb didn't have all the shorts on there. That's why I was confused. The total copy was the frame narrative. That was the wraparound, and that was directed by David Bruckner, who was the director I was most looking forward to seeing what he would do with this. Bruckner did the Hellraiser remake from last year. He did the Night House, which was fucking awesome. And what else did Bruckner do? Southbound and the Ritual. He did in Southbound. He did The Accident.
The car.
Yeah, that was our favorite segment.
Oh.
So, as a director, I really like David Bruckner, and I'm actually a little bummed out that he did the wraparound because I didn't really care about the wraparound. Rory, that was the character's name. Rory, yeah. So, David Bruckner did total copy and synopsis. Meathead, yeah, pretty much. Synopsis says a narrator presents a documentary on a team of scientists at Stammer University studying a shape-shifting being they name Rory. So it was sort of interesting. I kind of liked the unknown element of it, of like, what is this? Like, and they kind of like were showing a little bit more as it was going on. Right. So that aspect I didn't mind. And I liked how the doctor was so adamant about, it's for science, basically. Like, he's like, yeah, like he felt like he knew Rory, and, obviously he didn't. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was okay. It did some interesting things. And at the end, I thought the end part of the wraparound was more compelling, but, it almost feels like a bit of a cheap gimmick for like how it ended, like,
yeah,
it went a long way to kind of for a punchline. So that's kind of my thoughts. I'm a little disappointed. I love David Bruckner and I love the stuff that he's done, but this to me just I'm sure he had fun with it, and that's all that matters. Like, I mean, he's not fucking curing cancer here, folks. Like he's making a fun, gooey horror movie. But yeah, at the end of the day, this one just didn't do too much for me. But it was better than other wraparounds that we've seen, especially I think the one with that SWAT team. That was my least favorite of all of them.
Yeah. Right. Like, I get it, and that kind of encapsulates MZ's gimmick or idea, which is cool, but I would rather more content than you don't need to explain it to me. I've already bought into
No, you do.
Well, just this thing. Most other things, like, there's a lot of shit happening in the world. Fucking, what's going on in Palestine? That's weird. But just show me the monster.
Show me the monster.
The monster.
Show me the monster.
All right, so MZ, your thoughts on Total Copy?
Yeah, you know what? It was just so unimportant that honestly I barely even remember it.
Wow, how about that?
That should pretty much sum it up right there.
All right.
All right.
I guess we don't need to say much more about that.
And I watched this last night. Okay, so.
All right. Next up, we're going to talk about No Wake. This was written and directed by Mike P. Nelson, and this is the one where the 7 friends go to the lake, and go on the boat, go somewhere they're not supposed to. It says, no swimming, and but they like, fuck it, let's go swimming anyways, except for 2 people. So what did you guys think about this one?
Well, I really got to appreciate how far they were going to push the whole 80s idea. I mean, I guess you can't make it, there's no such thing as making it too 80s, because, I mean, after all, the 80s were the 80s. I mean, that's what they were, But when you got to the point where you saw the guy dressed up like one of the Beastie Boys in Sabotage, I'm like,
the brother.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm saying to myself, okay, maybe you're pushing it a little bit too far, just a little bit. Well, I mean, I liked where things were going. They were telling a story. You got the characters, you're setting it all up nice. But when things started getting crazy, and there was like no explanation as to not so much why it's happening or what's happening or why it's happening, but the aftermath from that, I'm saying to myself, all right, what the hell is going on here? I mean, they were wondering that themselves, and it's not like, they were in on it. They weren't, because they were trying to figure it out themselves. But like I said before, these stories link up in a certain way. And later on, we do get to find out a little bit more about this camper with these guys later on in another short. I thought it was okay, the carnage was great. I dug the carnage. It was awesome. Really good stuff. And it hits you like out of nowhere too. You never see it coming. It just boom right there, and it's
figuratively and literally.
Yeah, you knew something had to happen, right? Like everything was going swimmingly, literally. So you had to assume something was going to happen. But yeah, like that was sudden and unexpected for sure. It's not quite what I was in. Like, I didn't really anticipate anything specifically, but what happened was not what I thought might happen. Like it was kind of out of nowhere, and I like that. It felt like a bit of a letdown though, because it's more of like a real world sort of concern, like a real world thing that can happen. And like with these movies, like I feel like embracing the supernatural or interdimensional, or like whatever is typically the direction to go. And maybe that's why the director decided to go in a more realistic manner. But I guess I was a little let down by that, even though I was shocked by it, and it was like came out of nowhere. I was a little let down by it at the end. It was like, I kind of wish it was something a little bit more than what it was,
Yeah. I agree.
So for me, I fucking loved this.
Mm-hmm.
It had classic 85 tropes of 7 friends going to the camping, area. Potential of, sex in the air. Like, yeah, I didn't like Mustache Guy putting the moves on the dude's sister. Didn't like that, but that dude was definitely
She
upper
was
class.
she was into it. I felt like they were a couple.
Oh yeah, no, I totally. But if I was like her brother, I wouldn't like that dude. I mean, I'm only a child, but I wouldn't like fucking Mustache Calhoun, fucking, doing his thing. But when it's funny, like right before, I like some of the plot lines. I liked how the guy with the 5-head, long-haired 5-head with the camera, and the chick that was like the little
little romance sort of
romance going on. And right before, I could get annoyed by these characters because I'm like, they're fine. I don't hate them. I don't want them to die. And right before maybe they would is when the shit starts. Like, oh my God, this is fucking real. Like, this is a real fucking fear. But I like the slight supernatural thing they brought in there.
Well,
and
they did, yeah.
It kind of was telegraphed with the sign. And I'm pretty sure that sign said evil when they were like, whatever the full word was. I thought when they were dusting it off, it looked almost like evil, right? You know what I'm talking about?
It wasn't an L though. I'll pull it up, but it wasn't an L.
I got bad eyes, but I thought it looked like evil.
Yeah.
But I was very close to my fucking closed captioning. I'll tell you that much. Marion will tell you.
Could have been Evan for all we know. I don't know.
Evan. Yeah, Camp Evan. Don't swim in Evan Lake. But when shit went down, I'm like, wow, this is a fucking real life scary thing that's going on right now. And when it was over, I'm like, oh, I like the kind of Tuck Everlasting gimmick they were doing there. And where's this gonna go? And when there was a callback, I thought the callback was cool, but definitely no. So I'm gonna say, like, I wish the camping scene and the callback and a final denouement would have been its own movie.
Yeah.
So I'm watching the scene right now where he's clearing the dirt off the sign. It's EVI, and it's either a C or an O. I can't tell because he doesn't rub all the dirt off of it. He says Evic.
Eviction.
So I think it was EVIC. But it's welcome. It was hold on, let me go back just a bit. So the sign says welcome to Lake EVIC. That's all you can see.
Yeah.
And it really reminded me that there was a club I used to go to where we had a little boat, a little little die-hard battery thing. You could like fucking go out there, but like you're a sitting duck if you're out there. Like, why is there a truck at the campsite? Oh, we'll go back. Like, I don't know. I was very much caught up in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
With those characters, and it was intense. I felt it. It was that scene worked for me. What can I tell you?
That's what you can tell us. It worked for you.
I just did.
So yeah, I think overall, generally, I like this one. It it was shocking. It had some. So the thing is, if you're gonna have if your short's gonna feel a little overly long, like for instance, we talked about the other one with the earthquake. What was it called? God of Death. So with that one, like I said, I dug the ending. We'll get a little bit more into that, but a lot of the build up to it, I felt it just felt a little bit too long. And whereas with this one, the build up, it's a lot of character development, and that the interactions between the characters, I think, works because it doesn't feel boring to me because we're getting to know the characters and and all that. Whereas with God of Death, with that one, we weren't getting to know the characters as much. Like we got to learn some little bits and pieces about them, but like that wasn't as important as showing the situation, and I'm not comparing these two. They're two different shorts completely. But I liked the build up to the boat scene better because I felt like we got a really good sense of who these characters were and what they were doing and all that. So with that, I did enjoy that aspect of it. So then when things happen, you kind of are like, oh fuck, like I kind of liked seeing this little budding relationship or whatever,
right.
So you kind of feel for the characters a little bit more. So yeah, I thought the build up to this was good. And I liked the interaction between all the characters. It was fun.
And I loved their realization of what had happened. I liked that a lot. And with this short and the next short, it was the God of Death. I liked how there was some very real world situations with a sprinkle of supernatural in each one.
Yeah.
Well, this one was a little bit more than a sprinkle of supernatural.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
Right. But it was at the end though.
Yeah.
But I agree.
I like the second one. I thought the second one was okay. I think I was starting to get a little worried when it was starting to. I felt like it was starting to delve into a little bit of light comedy, which is kind of weird considering the situation that everybody is put in, where the guy's like he's crawling on the ground. He was originally the cameraman. He's crawling on the ground.
But MZ, we're talking about the first one on the boat.
Oh, it's talking. I thought
we're going.
on.
No, we're going through one by one.
Oh no. I know that, but I thought we moved on.
No.
Okay, never mind.
We'll get to it in just a sec. I think we're pretty much almost done with this.
No, that's cool. I thought we moved on.
How's The Shining?
No, it has nothing to do with The Shining.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with the fact that you're watching The Shining right now.
No, it has nothing to do with it at all. I thought you guys were talking about. Forget it.
No, Raven Dirt, you douchebags.
Yeah.
Well, when they started, when they started walking back over to the camper, and you see a marking on
the Roman
camper,
numerals,
and of course, you have no idea what that's about,
right?
And then you realize later on, this is attached to another story that we watched later on. And in that story, we see a little harken back to this story. So, it's not just one making reference to another, it's both making references to each other. And I like that.
And it does a great thing where it lets a certain scene become the viewer's imagination. Like when a certain character's connection to another character and they make a discovery and they open that tent, like, what are they seeing?
Yeah, that's all up to the viewer, and
very visceral, and what I had in mind was fucking downright treacherous.
Oh yeah.
Like what what was there, and
And
like I say,
the thing is that you do know.
right.
The thing is you do find out what happened, Once again, it's another thing that harkens to another story.
Right, right.
So, I mean, you want to know, you're going to find out. So, and that's always cool. I like the way they played this out. I as far as I can tell, they haven't done this yet in any of the previous installments, but they did it here. I don't know about the last one. I haven't seen it, but they did it here, and I liked it.
Yep.
And there was enough strong points between the two stories where you can't obviously miss it, and yet there's also areas where it's subtle enough where if you're really paying attention, the payoff is just that much better.
Yeah, I think there's also some really good gore in this as well.
Oh, great.
Especially the girl who's holding her fucking jaw.
Right.
Oh my God.
Was pretty hardcore. Like
that was the most live action Steve Dillon artwork I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. I could totally get behind the Steve Dillon art. Yep.
Right out of Preacher, right out of Hellblazer with Garth Ennis. Like, oh my God, shiver me timbers.
That and the dude who's holding his intestines.
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck? Oh my God. But yeah, dude.
Yeah. Pretty wild.
Oh, okay,
Good
well,
stuff.
MZ, Marion came to your defense. MZ, I thought they'd moved on too.
Thank you, Marion.
And Evil Corny says MZ just turned into Mitch McConnell. He blinked out, and we'll be talking about Get Out.
Fucking glitch McConnell.
Well, it's not like MZ not to glitch out sometime like he did when he fucking passed out. So, I mean, yeah, to be fair.
Never let me live that down.
Mitch McConnell.
No, you never let yourself live it down.
Over his own joke. Yeah.
So yeah, I think this one, like, I don't know if this I don't know which one's my favorite, honestly, in this, but this would be in the conversation. This one would definitely be in the conversation. I thought it was really well executed. It had a nice twist, or not twist necessarily, but shift in tone. And then it had like another twist at the end that was like, whoa, all right, that's cool. I wish that had paid off a little bit better, though.
Yes.
But then
So,
again, I
we'll
think
get
it was
there.
just saving itself because it's being attached to another story. So
Well,
maybe
that's what I'm saying is
that
in
had to
the
have been deliberate.
in the other story, I wish it resolved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I think it would have been a cool opportunity to do that. But
Yeah, exactly.
anything else you guys want to say about this one? No Wake.
Not really.
All right. So let's move on. I'm not going to talk about the interlude each time, so we'll just kind of keep going. So next up is God of Death, and that was written and directed by Gigi Saul Guerrero. And so this one was the Mexican news crew preparing for the morning news. And so this one actually is legit. This takes place during the huge earthquake in Mexico City in 1985, which leveled the fucking city. And it did, I read, like $3 to $4 billion of damage. Like, I think there was something like hundreds of buildings that fell. So it's a fucking, that was legit. Like, that really happened, that, the earthquake.
And how many lives lost?
Like 5,000.
We were kids.
Yeah, I don't even really remember it. Yeah.
I remember it.
But really, okay, yeah, maybe a little bit. But for me, what my mind went to was the San Francisco earthquake in 1990 or 91.
Oh, 89, I think, because they were playing the World.
89.
They're playing the World
That's the
Series.
World Series.
Yeah.
Between Oakland and San Francisco.
Yeah, the fucking Bay Area.
Yeah, and my uncle Lenny was living out in San Francisco at the time and was talking to my mom on the phone when that happened. So like,
wow,
we were watching that live, and this is 1989. No internet, no shit, and the phone goes off. I remember seeing like was it the bridge where the car drove off?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Remember that footage?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Was that the gold? Was it the Golden Gate? I don't know.
I think it was the Golden Gate. It might have been the Golden Gate. So that's what came into, and that was actually 89. I was 13. A little bit older than when I was in 85, but that's what came to mind. But I thought, yeah, so any of that stuff is a great opportunity for horror, right? And when you're dealing with rescue workers coming in, these are the cats that fucking run in when everyone's fucking running out. You know what I mean? That's a fucking, you got to have fucking balls, whatever your agenda is, the size of fucking grapefruits to fucking do that. And it was very claustrophobic. I thought it was very exhausting. Them going in there, and when there's a particular scene of somebody being put out of their misery or doing what has to be done, you're like, oh shit, and the reaction. So I was very caught up in the emotionality. And oh wait, oops, pow, surprise, supernatural machinations.
Yeah. And they use the actual footage from the earthquake in this piece, and of course, why wouldn't you? I thought it was recreated pretty well. I felt the emotions of the rescuers along with those that they were trying to rescue, and you could feel like it was a real situation because it wasn't just come on, we're going to help you, come on, we're going to help you, and no, I can't, leave me, come on, we'll help you. No, I mean, the rescuers are like getting ready to get physically violent with these people if they did not move.
Right.
And
fuck around, come on.
Yeah. I'll if you do not start moving, I'm gonna knock you out myself.
And there were a few times I was like, you should really put a board on them. They may have some spinal injuries. Like,
yeah, but I mean, what do you want?
Right.
But given what they had here, I thought they handled it pretty well. The only part that I kind of, and this is where I got confused when we were talking about this story rather than the previous, was that I was afraid that was starting to get into a little bit of light comedy in this whole thing. And I guess maybe you kind of need that in a situation like this, for realism's sake.
Mm-hmm.
But when the guy started farting in the rescuer's face.
Well, I don't think he did it on purpose. I mean, he's scared shitless, literally.
But I mean, I know that, dude. But think about it. I mean, here's the guy trying to rescue you, and you're blasting air biscuits in his face.
He had no choice. I don't know.
I know what you're saying, MZ. I think I took that as like the human body's a weird thing, and it was like it was a weird break in a break, if you will, in levity. Is like, and when they both laughed, it was like we are fucking in a building that's gonna collapse at any minute. Let's just fucking laugh a little bit about this dude stinks.
Well, that's how I looked. That's how I took it too. But at first, I
sure,
common sense came around. But at first, I was like, oh no, it's not going to become a comedy, is it?
Right.
But
it's not like
you know
what I mean. It's not like that. But
yeah, but I think the way they handled it was pretty well done. The danger that was
taking a shit.
them, the claustrophobic nature that they were in, and knowing that like tons of death are literally like hanging over their heads that could collapse on them at any given moment. So I mean, you're not only trying to beat out, lives are at stake, even healthy lives are at stake, but you're also on a stringent time frame. So the anxiety level on everybody that's in this short is like way off the fucking charts. And I can only imagine, you know, the realism involved when the actual thing hit. It must have been a lot like this, if not worse.
Terrifying.
So,
yeah.
oh, absolutely. So I think they handled the material here pretty well. Then when it starts getting into supernatural machinations, as my cohort would normally say, I'm still on the fence about that. I really don't know what to think about that part of it.
All right. I thought the beginning was fun. Like I liked seeing the woman, and the woman who was the newscaster. I'm pretty sure that was the director, Gigi Saul Guerrero. It's easy for me to say. So I think that was her playing that the younger reporter.
Her. Okay, the one that was on
location. Yeah.
Oh, she was great. I liked the interaction with the more seasoned you know, anchor.
Yeah.
You know,
what a severe look that is, huh?
It was a little fierce. I'm not saying it wasn't fierce. But
I liked her, though. She was fun.
Yeah, and I like that, like when she like tripped on her first her first line. She's like, "Motherfucker." You know, like I liked, you know, it had an air of humor to it already, and you know, and then when shit started going down, like I didn't put two and two together about the earthquake until after. I was like, oh wait, like I remember, you know, earthquake, and sure enough, they had the same exact date in the movie and everything like that. Yeah. So.
I mean, fortunately, I realized it because of EF's Facebook post.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen his post.
Thank you, EF.
See, educating the masses, or the mass holes, if you, as it were.
Educating the mass hole.
So you know, I thought that you know, I liked the tone of it. But like, so once it shifted into the earthquake, it was a little like I didn't know where they were going. First of all, like with the news report, I thought that we were going to see something happen in real time that was like, you know, like supernatural or freaky or you know something. And then we got
like aliens or some fucking shit.
Yeah,
you know?
And then we got real life, you know, scary shit. But I liked where it went. Like it was sort of an interesting way to get to where they got. I would have, like I said earlier, I would have liked if they had been able to stretch out the ending a little bit more, maybe see some signs a little bit earlier or something. But once it got there, I really liked that. I thought that was a fun little discovery, and the way they went about it was pretty cool. So I like the end. I like the beginning. The middle was little bit of a trudge to get to the end. And I feel like they could have done some more interesting stuff, or maybe edited it out a little bit, and it would have been a much tighter, more enjoyable short. But overall, this is definitely in contention for my favorite, potentially.
I have a question for all the wild people out there, and I don't want to spoil it, but there's some similarities to this in another movie we've watched recently that was a new installment to a franchise. Do you think somewhere between this short and that movie is something else?
Well, I don't know what movie you're talking about, so.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It rhymes with Meevil Dead Ises.
If there's a connection?
Not a connection, but similarities.
Not really.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, what caused something to happen in one movie kind of caused something to happen in another. Right. But I think that this is, I mean, the earthquake in this was a real thing.
Sure.
Whereas I felt like the what caused the ground to break in Evil Dead Rises was like the weakest fucking part of that movie. It was just almost laughable, like that's what like caused it to happen. It was like just kind of silly. So, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like there's certainly some similarities, but, yeah, I think, I realize the time we're taking a while. So I know MZ is going to turn to a pumpkin. So we should probably get a move on. Is there anything else any of you guys want to say about God of Death? Raven Shadow, I'm surprised you haven't talked about McGear and Down Spot.
All right. Yo. Oh, yeah. This was the first found footage movie I think we saw that had the nudity.
No.
I think so.
I don't think so.
I think so.
No.
I applauded it, and I thought it was a fearless performance. And
it's a feel-good moment.
I think she's good. I think I would cast her in other roles. It was good. She was good in a role. Treat.
All right, there you go.
I mean, you don't be Randy Pan the Goat Boy, but yeah, no.
You don't want to be? I think it's too late. I think it's too late for that.
A lot of things, Wolfie.
I think it's too late for that.
All right, come on.
All right. But I did like I don't know the name of the Mictlan, I think.
Yeah.
I like that. I thought that was a nice inclusion, and it had the Aztec god. It had some some cultural significance. So I did enjoy that. All right, next up we're gonna do Techno God, or TKNOGD, and this one was directed by Natasha Kermani, and this one is about the performance artist Ada Lovelace, who opens a show for a small audience in a theater, and she explains that the world has killed God and replaced him with the god of technology. And she introduces a demonstration of VR software called the iPhone, the EYE phone, which it first made me kind of roll my eyes, but then I was like, actually, it's kind of clever based on what it is.
Right. At first, it was a little bit like, "How are you?"
Yeah.
It's my iPhone. Okay.
So in this is like a little sci-fi with horror, and it will allow a user to exist both in physical and the digital plane. And so Ada does this whole thing. It's like this whole sort of performance art. And then she eventually puts on the VR headset, all that stuff, calls the god, performs an incantation, does all that. And the premise of this was fine. There's some elements of this that I thought were cool, and I actually liked. I mean, this one had, I don't know, probably the most social commentary of any of them, because it's kind of funny how relevant it is now for a film that was supposedly takes place in 1985. So I thought that was pretty interesting, because none of us are really religious. So, and I think that's true of a lot. I think a lot of people, like, religion is becoming less and less of a thing. I mean, sure, there's a whole fucking millions of people out there who are either Catholic or Christian and devoted, to their faith, and that's fine. Whatever, as long as you don't hurt anyone else. But a lot of those people believe that God tells them to hate other people because they're different, and that's fucked, because that's not the message that they should be getting. It's so I don't want to get too into the religion side of things, but I think over the years religion has definitely fallen off a bit, and now a lot of people would probably worship the fucking like they pray at the altar of likes and impressions and
Jesus has 744 followers, instead of the fucking disciples. Oh yeah, 12. Now I got fucking Jesus has likes now. That's fucking funny.
So we basically we're praying at the altar of the algorithm is kind of maybe that's the way of saying it.
Oh shit.
But so I thought I liked a lot of what this had to say. I thought it was interesting, and I thought that like the violence in it was pretty outstanding.
Sure.
Very good.
Yeah. But overall, like it just didn't I think the framing of the performance art while was a good take on it, I felt like just made it like I think they could have been done in a different setting, and I think it would have been a little bit more interesting to me. But it was almost like in a way like Grand Guignol, right? Like they're watching a fucking violent show take place in front of them, and they think it's part of the act, or most people did. So it does sort of harken back to that Grand Guignol sort of like idea, which on that tip I kind of like. But I feel like it could have been made maybe a little bit more interesting in a different setting, with people still kind of like watching. But yeah, overall, I thought there was some cool stuff in here. Great gore, but other than that, like left a little bit on the table, I think.
Yeah. I agree with the setting. I think the setting was totally wrong for this, because if what didn't happen to this performance, if what happened to this performance artist didn't happen, then what is this audience supposed to be watching? I mean, yeah, maybe some sort of performance art, but what exactly are you going
I mean,
to
it was
get
a statement. Yeah, it's a statement on technology being God or turning into God,
Yeah. It still doesn't work as far as I'm concerned, because in the end result is that there's a lot of violence, there's a lot of blood, there's a lot of broken bones, and you see them and you hear them, and as if look, you can believe in whatever religion you want, go right ahead, but there shouldn't be any religion that should make you so numb to it that you don't realize when somebody's getting hurt. I don't care what the real world tells you. I mean, it's you're a human being before you commit yourself to any kind of religion or any kind of faith. So just common sense should click in at some point. Amazingly, a lot of it doesn't. But yeah, I agree that the setting for this is wrong. But what they did with this, just the performance art itself, or what's going on behind the VR mask, was really interesting. And I love how they kept it very minimalistic, very the virtual reality is all very wire work. There's nothing. Sure. There's nothing 3D. There's nothing. It's all mostly polygons and wire work. So it's very, very primitive, and I like that. Kind of like the Bishop of Battle in the movie Nightmares that Emilio Estevez fights.
Emilio,
Emilio, come out to play.
So I like that, and the violence, of course, was great, and the end result and the final shot you get out of that is really, really, really good. Very well done. I don't know. I would think that's animatronics, but if it is, it's very good.
Yeah, animatronics is what I thought too, and if so, like that was really done pretty well.
Really, really good work. But yeah, but also at the same time, you got the whole performance art thing, and that really is kind of like the wrong setting for it. I don't know, that just didn't fit for me. but everything that goes on in that VR mask and everything that victim goes through, that was great. Very well done.
Yeah, agreed. Anything else to add, Raven Shadow?
No, I'm with you boys on this one.
All right. Moving on. So next one is Ambrosia, and this is the one about Ruth, the the one who's being inducted into the whatever, the 7 or saying that makes it sound like she's going to be in the boys next season.
I know. Or Justice League, but yes.
Yeah. But this was also written and directed by Mike P. Nelson, and he did, like funny enough or conveniently enough, did No Wake, which is the one with the 7 kids at the lake. So same director. A teenage girl named Ruth is shown recording a family get together. Ruth's mom asks her to go out and bring more potato salad for the party. So then her cousin James, who she calls a loser, takes the camera and takes over recording. So let's see. While outside, a little boy shoots at Ruth with a water gun. She gets angry and asks Adam where he got the water gun, and says he got it from a lady in an RV. And then you see an RV speeding off. So already she's kind of like, what's going on here? So after the party's over, there's just kind of like a handful of family members that remain. And so she talks about being part of this tradition and saying while others celebrate these milestones like bar mitzvahs and sweet 16s, their family celebrate. Their family celebrates milestones by taking the lives of 7 people in various ways. Then explains that instead of sharing photos of the murderers or busting out the slide projector per usual, she would instead share a video. The recording then reveals that Ruth was the one who murdered the 7 adults at the lake, and the tape shows like her perspective, which I thought was kind of awesome.
So I fucking popped for this.
At what point did you realize that they were going to go there?
Well, when they made the comment about how the Uncle Alan or the grandpa was a master of fucking like a scythe or something, and like the one aunt who was like the master of arsenic. So it seemed like they all had their own like supervillain gimmicks, and they were like, "Oh shit!" Like, "Oh, is that your dad's AR-15?"
Yeah,
like, "Oh," and she's smiling in front of the camera, like, "Oh shit!" There were fucking 7 people there.
Yep.
And I'm like, bow.
You were like,
you know
bow.
What I mean?
That's what you said.
I was like, with Ollie and I today, we were like, bow.
Bibbidi bow.
Bibbidi bow.
All right.
When we were doing our first impressions, I already spilled my beans on what I thought of it. I couldn't control myself. I just kept on going. But you already know.
We heard you started dating.
But so anyway, that was my take on it. So I don't need to say anything more about it.
I finally found the sound effect I was looking for. Like 20 minutes ago.
You're just spotting in a tunnel.
All right, so yeah, I mean, I thought this one was interesting. I loved when I was like hooked when I saw that they were connecting it to another one.
Yeah.
I thought that was really great.
Snoop.
And to see it from a different perspective was really interesting. And the fact that she didn't stick around to see what happened at the end, I was like, man, like this is going to be fucking great because they're looking to get revenge. They had even said that. And then like the cops show up.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Like, but like we didn't see, I don't know. Like I feel like it was a missed opportunity. Like imagine, like.
This was like taking your clothes off and not fucking me.
Jeez. You expect that to happen?
Jesus Christ, dude.
No, but no, this was like, it was like, you're waiting for it. You want the Avengers to fight Thanos. And it's like, nope, S.H.I.E.L.D. comes in.
So next time MZ takes his clothes off in front of you, you're going to expect him to F you.
No, I would
Yeah,
expect you to film
entitled?
it
Are you entitled to
based
it?
on your history. No. Once again, no, you're getting outrageous.
I'm not getting outrageous. I am trying to clarify because other people might think you're intimating something that you're not.
Just I was having fun. I was taking the piss. I wasn't making a statement. I was just having
All right,
fun.
let's move on.
All right, I was having fun. Like, don't buy me a pizza and tell me not to eat it.
There you go. You can only have a bite of the crust, Raven Shadow. That's it.
I would love a bite of crust right now. I'm so hungry.
That's you'd be happy with, like, looking at a whole pizza and then just having one tiny bite of the crust. That's it. You'd be fine with that.
Maybe like a Papa John's cheesy crust.
No, it can't be stuffed crust.
It can't be stuffed crust. Can't have any garlic sauce on it or anything. It's just fucking plain ass.
It has to be stale.
Yeah,
it has to be stale.
Plain stale ass crust.
And about as hard as a bone to bite into.
Bone.
What kind of pizza joints are in Maine where you have stale ass crust?
Conan's Pizza, apparently. That was in the fucking. They had that ad in this.
Yeah, that's why you buy the fucking whoopie pies with the fucking peanuts on them, because you have stale ass crust.
So I really enjoyed a lot of elements of this one.
Yes.
I think the thing I like I said, was disappointed the most that we didn't see that twist at the end of No Wake come into play. And
because it foreshadowed a promise of, oh shit.
Well, the thing is, we didn't know it was going to come back around, right? Like at that point, we were like, okay, cool, that's an interesting ending. But then the fact that it kind of came back around, it's like, oh shit, we're going to get the continuation of that. And I feel like they just completely pulled the rug out from under us, or as Raven Shadow said, gave us a pizza we couldn't eat.
Thank you.
And it was a little disappointing. But we did see at the end what happens, like, you know, like she died, and then what happened after, right? So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have been a great. It would have been a fine story, but because you tied it into a previous one, you wanted that.
Yeah.
Continuation.
It's like, oh shit, I didn't know I was getting this. And then when you get it, it's like, yeah, we're not really giving it to you though. Like, so I guess your pizza thing is apt. You know, it's like,
yeah,
someone comes over to hang out. They're coming at you're hanging out with someone, Raven Shadow, and then when they show up, they're holding a pizza. You're like, oh snap, oh Snoop, you brought a fucking pizza. I wasn't expecting that. And they're like, yeah, man, I brought a pizza. Here, you can have one bite of the crust, and that's it. And then you're watching them eat the pizza.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh man, this is so good. You see the cheese, you know, like stretching from the mouth to the pie, and you know.
Marion, call Freshway. I'm so excited. I'm so hungry right now.
So, yeah, that's the thing. I think that's what really let me down about this one is we got something I wasn't expecting, and then it sort of just like was like, yeah, but we're not really giving it to you.
It was a good ending, but it wasn't the one they telegraphed.
Right. Or not even telegraphed, but it just wasn't the one that it appeared where it was going, which would have been a very cool way of sort of wrapping that up, you know?
Yeah.
Right. It's like, oh, the lights are at work. They're fucking with them. It's like, no, it just is actual cops. Oh.
Oh, you know what? I completely missed something. Okay. So the reason why what happens to Ruth happens is because of the water gun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know why I didn't put that together.
You know, it was because she partaked in the laws of Lake Minnetonka.
Yeah. So, okay. That's that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, for some reason I didn't make the connection at the time because what happened was we saw the water gun and then after we found out where it came from. So like it just didn't make the connection for me, but okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because remember that small shot where
Yeah.
the girl's like, saying to, I guess it was her younger brother, where'd you get that water gun? And he says from the lady in the Winnebago.
Although now with that, I would have liked if the fucking rapper was them killing her over and over and over for what she did. Right?
Oh shit.
Right? Like in new and interesting ways. Each of them fucking kills her in new and interesting ways.
Like fucking Prometheus and shit.
That actually would have been cool.
Been fucking dope.
That would be a nice wraparound. I wonder if this was gonna be the wraparound because it's the only one that like is tied together and it's the same director. So I wonder if this was originally supposed to be.
That's a good point, Wolfie, because I wonder some of these movies how like they did that. Like if all the directors and the creatives involved did their assignment, do you think then it's the editors that then jumble it up and throw in the interstitials, throw in the this is your brain on drug shit, and like fuck up what they were doing to make it fit some kind of hackneyed interstitial narrative that truly isn't needed.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be. I mean, it once again, it's that gimmick, right? It's the gimmick overshadowing the talent.
Like, I think one conversation we had when Marion and I watched is like, I get you can't bring back Tales from the Crypt. There's a lot of rights issues. But I mean, like, I know we grew up on Alfred Hitchcock Presents, Twilight Zone, whatever the fuck, but I think Tales from the Crypt and Masters of Horror are remarkably important things to the genre that I would love a modern day take with the new cats coming up, doing just 20-minute fucking stories. You don't need fucking tracking and static and whatever the fuck. Get that bullshit out of here, man. Just tell the fucking story.
But you know what? The static, I feel, in a way, kind of helps out the fact that these tapes have been viewed numerous times, and that whoever owns them gets a sick thrill out of them.
Yeah,
it's fair. It's cute, but I would much rather the story than
that's
cuteness.
Fair. Looks like Angry Townsman just popped in a little while ago. Says, evening, just finished the movie. What's up, Angry? Glad to have you. All right, we're on to the last one, Dream Kill. And this one's directed by Scott Derrickson. Scott Derrickson is he directed the first Doctor Strange movie. And he also did Black Phone, which we did last year or 2 years ago. Did you watch Black Phone with us, MZ? Do you remember that movie?
No,
okay,
I
so
still haven't seen it.
That was so that was last year then.
I enjoy the Black Phone.
Yeah, it was good. So I like Scott Derrickson. Once again, was really looking forward to his short. So this one here, I'll try to summarize it as quickly as possible. Like we have some cops who are investigating a series of murders, and one thing that happens is that the cops get a copy of a VHS tape with the murder days before the murder happens.
It's been a murder.
So they go investigating a murder, and then like the guy is like, oh, like I've seen this place. And he's like, this is just like the one I saw on the tape. And he's like, but this just happened like hours ago. How did you get a tape? So they sort of investigate this and start looking into it, and they get camera footage of the person dropping the tape off at the mailbox and all that. So, and it becomes sort of this web of intrigue of who's doing what and all that. But kind of an interesting, once again, kind of a sci-fi horror gimmick where we're seeing these killings prior to them actually happening. And so you wonder if there's some like time travel involved. The cop even, I think, mentions that. He says something about, unless someone's time traveling, I don't know how these are happening. So overall, MZ, what did you think of this one?
This is one of those situations where, and I can't remember if they do this in the previous installments, the previous films, as to whether or not they saved the best for last. And here I feel they saved the best for last. This was good. I just love the whole, I just love the whole idea of it. It's not entirely original, granted.
No.
And it's not entirely original considering the characters that are involved. They all seem pretty, standard. Okay, you got the kid who has the ability to foresee these things happening and dream them up. Okay, he's got a bit of a different look to him. He's got a heavy goth.
Yeah, he does.
To say the least, right? And but the cops, and the cops were rather one-dimensional. They were like your typical cops.
Yeah.
And they go through, they're denying, and then this, that, and the other thing, and one of them has a secret that plays a part in what's going on here. I won't say which one or how heavy that involvement is, but it felt rather basic to me. But the story itself is really interesting, and I think the way they played it out was really well. I think the guy who played the kid who played the goth was really good.
Mm-hmm.
He felt genuine to me. And as far as the cops go, you got one cop there who stands all about maybe 5'1".
Yeah.
Because you see him standing next to the bed, and the bed is like nipple high on him. So,
yeah.
So I couldn't help but laugh at that.
Yeah.
And but the violence that they show in this is done really well. I think it was done in a style of, say, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The way the footage camera was shaking around and taking the shots, it came across a lot like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And TCM is brought up, Friday the 13th is brought up, Halloween is brought up in this. So, okay, they're making calls to the classics. And I just think that this is the best one of the bunch, and they did save the best for last. I think it does fall a little out of continuity with where you got the security camera on this one guy, but then it goes to a front shot of him following him, and I'm thinking, all right, now where's that camera coming from? Because there's nothing in front of him. So I didn't know where that camera shot was coming from. It kind of fell out of its own narrative by doing that. But for the most part, for this short, I think it was the best of the bunch, and it was violent too, heavily violent. A lot of stuff goes on that you just don't expect it happening. It's when you least expect it, that's when it happens.
Yeah, this had an interesting narrative to it. I actually liked how it sort of resolved. We had this conceit of this dream kill, where someone dreams, kills before they happen, and and then sort of seeing that and how it plays into, sort of the ending of it, I thought was an interesting conceit. I did like some of the characters. The cops were, as you said, kind of one-dimensional, but I liked that they were very kind of like traditional, like 80s hard-ass cops, especially the main one with the mustache,
So speaking of fucking sabotage video,
right? Oh, yeah, yeah, true, yeah.
Yeah. Right.
But the interesting thing about this is we don't get a lot of the killer's motive. I mean, we get it like kind of towards the end, but I feel like that like it almost wasn't. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it wasn't strong enough, but like I would have liked to find out a little bit more about what that was about, But it all made sense, and I liked that a lot of the stuff why he lost his badge and all that stuff all made a lot of sense, and I really dug that. And I liked Gunther, the kid, who the goth kid, who I think actually looking at it here, I think that was Scott Derrickson's kid, someone named Dashiell Derrickson.
Oh shit!
So if the director's Scott Derrickson, I'm guessing that it's his kid or something like that.
Dash Derrickson.
What's that?
Dash Derrickson in the 25th century.
Let's see, Dashiell.
His name is Dashiell for real?
Dashiell.
That's funny. That's the real name of Dashiell Fairborn is Flint from G.I. Joe. I'm like, who the fuck's name is Dashiell? He's the only person. But yeah, Dashiell Fairborn, the warrant officer, my favorite.
He was apparently he was in VHS 99 as well. And he was
9.
Yeah, maybe. And he was in The Black Phone. He played Jackass #1. I don't know. I don't remember that.
Wow, that's no snuff organizer #1.
It's weird because he's not credited for this film. Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, you fucking mow some lawns, you get a credit, motherfucker. Get out there, son.
Yeah, that's his. Is that his allowance?
Yeah.
I'll you do the fucking lawn, and then we'll get you that credit on IMDb, kid.
Yeah, you want the IMDb credit? You fucking pick up your sweatshirt, bro.
Yeah.
The fuck. Plowed it back 40.
But yeah, I mean, I did enjoy this one. I feel like it was the most. It was the most cohesive in terms of a narrative, like, where I feel like we got good pacing throughout as well, because we had several different kills and little investigation scenes and stuff like that. So I felt like this one was the most realized, probably. Had some good stuff.
That's fair. I mean, I thought I was like, this looks like shit because it's on fucking video. Right. Like it was clearly video.
This one would have looks. I mean, I just wish once again if it didn't have the gimmick, like I feel like this would have looked really awesome, and it would have. I don't know, like I get it. I get what they're doing. It's just like what, like this probably would be so much more enjoyable if it just looked better, and even if it just had like like it could have like a little bit of a grainy look to it, but look a little, just look a little bit better.
But it was the conceit. That was what it was. Yeah. So I mean, like, you look at the old VHS tapes we had of old party footage. Like, yeah, it looks like video because it was video, and this was video.
Videotapes have been around since were really popular up until around the late 1990s. So, I mean, I think the idea of this being 1985, I mean, unless the stories meet the demand of having to use 1985 technology to either ask for help or to defend yourself or whatever the case might be, that important of a plot point in this movie, is it? I mean, it could be VHS 78, it could be VHS 85, it could be VHS 97, it could even be VHS 2002.
Yeah,
yeah.
It really doesn't make much of a difference.
I want like film strip 65. That's what I want. Bing! turn the fucking thing, fucking.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Angry Townsend makes a good point. I didn't even think about this, but he says, I said, I think this is the cousin of the Black Phone kids. He mentioned his sister killed herself from dreams. That would be interesting if they tied it into the Black Phone.
Shit.
Because I do remember him saying that, but I didn't make the connection that it could have been.
Nice pull.
Yeah, actually. Okay, yeah, it says right here. I'm looking at. I pulled up an article not too long ago, and it says Derrickson actually threw in a cheeky link to his 2022 production, The Black Phone, which has a character that is directly related to Gunther and has similar abilities. Apparently, it's hereditary. There you go. That's fucking cool, right?
All right, how about that?
How about that? You got to now. You got to check out The Black Phone, MZ.
Shared universe.
Well, I've been wanting to check out The Black Phone. I will as soon as I get the opportunity.
As soon as this episode's over, stay up all night.
Yeah, right. Thanks.
All right. Anything else you guys want to add about this one?
Not really.
Yeah.
All right. So, and we already talked about the wraparound, so we don't have to talk about that again. But this was the last one. So yeah, let's do the verdict, and we'll start to wrap this. We'll put this baby to bed, as they say, Raven Shadow.
Yeah, let's do lunch.
I always wanted to say that.
I always wanted to say that.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, verdict time. We're going to let you know whether VHS 85 was a trick or a treat. And any final thoughts? Let's start with Monster Zero.
First of all, I'm in complete shock that we finally got Busta back up and running again for the first time in weeks.
Yes.
All right. Now on to the review. Well, I can honestly say that there's finally a VHS film that I will recommend. It does. I have recommended others in the past, but not as highly as this one. I think it did a service quite well in all short stories. I think Dream Kill was the best one. And I think Tech God was probably the weakest. But it was still quite good in a lot of aspects. There are some disappointments to be found in here. The Sevens, the end of the Sevens, I really wanted more out of that, but it combined itself with another story, and so it was, I liked that, but I just wish it had a conclusion, and it really didn't have that. The others are standard at times, basic, but the makeup and the special effects, the done really well in all of these. So I can't say no. Some of the acting is really quite good. Some of the directing is good. I just wish that some of these stories had a conclusion. It kind of leaves you hanging, and I guess that's, par for the course. I mean, you only have so much time, but, first of all, get rid of the wraparound. We don't need it. It's not important. Commit that time to the stories. That's important. And, but like I said, there are some faults here, but there's more good than negative. I'll say that for the first time in a VHS series. There's more good than bad. And I did like this. This is a treat.
All right. Michael Raven Shadow.
No, I'm going to echo the sentiments of my brother Monster Zero. You know what I mean? If this was a wrestling card from top to bottom, it was an overall good show. Was there a, Shawn Michaels Undertaker Hell in the Cell? No. Was there a Mick Foley Taker Hell in the Cell? Definitely not. but I think overall it was a good card. I some of the segments I wanted more, and some I thought were fine. But I think overall for an anthology, you could certainly do a hell of a lot worse. So I would crack a beer, take off your pants, and check this one out. Treat.
All right. Yeah, for me, this is a treat as well. Like I said, it didn't have the highs of others in the VHS series, but it also didn't have the lows. So this one I feel is fairly solid throughout. We talked about some of our nitpicks. I wish there was I really wish they had done something more with that connection between No Wake and Ambrosia. I think that really would have just sent it like to another level. And I like the ending of what was that one called? God of Death. And there are elements that I enjoyed about Techno God. And I think that overall Dreamkill was just solid. Like it was a solid one. So yeah, I mean overall this is a pretty solid effort. I will say I'm a little disappointed in the wraparound, and that's mostly because I really love David Bruckner and I'm such a fan of his work that I was just hoping for a little bit more than like what we got. It was almost like if you take The Thing and mash it up with like an 80s workout video, like I feel like that was like the punchline. Like that was like, oh, let's do this. And, like, yeah, the ending was kind of funny, but it was almost like, I don't know, it was a little disappointing. And I think that would have worked better as a standalone and not the wrapper, honestly. Like to keep going back to it, I felt like, I think it diminished it even more. Whereas I feel like No Wake and Ambrosia would have been a better wraparound with some added stuff to it. Like, with the Seven coming back and trying to kill Ruth or something like that. Like I feel like that would have been a more interesting conceit for a wraparound. But that's just me.
Right. Find the guns and shit. It could have been fucking. It could have been like a weird, like near dark fucking. I don't know.
Yeah. But overall, like I think this is a pretty solid entry. Aside from my earlier point about the gimmick overshadowing the talent, unfortunately, that is a thing, and the gimmick of like a tape that has been watched many times or copied many times, it just really dilutes the quality of what you're seeing. So that does knock it down a peg for me. I wish that wasn't the case, but it is. So, but that's the gimmick. That's what they're doing. So I expect it. I just wish that it wasn't there. All right. Well, that's it. That's our discussion of VHS 85. If you guys want to watch it, it's streaming exclusively on Shudder. And, if you don't have Shudder, I mean, I guess what are you waiting for? But second of all, it's a good deal, and you can probably get some trials or something if you have never done Shudder before. All right. Next week, this was a little bit of, I don't know, we got some good stuff coming out in October, but a lot of it's not coming out till sort of like towards the end of the month. So there's going to have to be some that either get, like skipped, or we kind of like spread them out a little bit. But anyways, there's another one that I thought was kind of interesting, and it's on Amazon Prime, and I guess it's fitting, kind of fits in with the gimmick of the 80s. But the name of the movie is Totally Killer.
Oh.
And it's the synopsis: when the infamous Sweet 16 killer returns 35 years after his first murder spree to claim another victim, 17-year-old Jamie accidentally travels back in time to 1987, determined to stop the killer before he can start.
Oh, I think Zombie Girls did this recently.
Oh,
I might
really?
listen to that today.
Yeah. I think I saw them promoting it. So, it has Lachlan Monroe is in this. You know him? He was Deputy Scott Stubbs in Freddy vs. Jason.
Yeah, I went to high school with
that guy.
Yeah, he's kind of like a
For some reason, that
doofy
guy's
guy.
become a cult. For some reason, that guy's become a cult actor. I don't get it.
Oh, is he the blonde-haired guy?
As soon as you see him, you're gonna recognize him. He's kind of doofy.
He's kind of like a Michael Dudikoff or Next Generation, but less.
Sure. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And it stars Kiernan Shipka, who I don't know if anyone saw, but she was Sabrina in Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Yeah.
on Netflix.
Okay, I wish I would have not listened to the show before I watched this. But okay.
Well, hey, that's on you. I mean, you could always ask me, "What are we doing, Johnny? What are we doing?"
If I asked you every time I listen to a podcast that we do in a movie, you'd be upset with me.
You went you're like 0 to 60, like never didn't even know how to hit play on a fucking podcast, and now you're listening to like all of them.
No, but you signed me for Facebook. Marion got me on the fucking podcatchers, and I'm fucking.
Now you're fucking
I'm
running.
ravenous.
Now you're running wild all over the fucking internet.
I am. I'm like fucking Guy Pearce.
Piercing the brain of
They're piercing the Christmas podcast
or whatever that is. Yeah. All right. So we do have some voice messages though. So next week we'll do Totally Killer. It is on Amazon Prime if you have that. At least in the States. I know we have people listening all over the world, so I don't know where it's playing in other parts of the world. But I know it's playing here, and I know it's on Amazon Prime. So, all right, let me, I got to get some of these voicemails queued up. We actually got more than I expected. So,
you need a few minutes, Wolfie, a few seconds.
Well, go ahead. What?
Do you not need it or no?
I just need like 1 minute, but go ahead.
All right. I just want to say rest in peace, the great Keith Geffen, legendary comic artist and writer.
Passed today, right?
I think yesterday or today, but co-creator of Rocket Raccoon, co-creator of Lobo, the main man, co-writer of my favorite incarnation of Justice League, and just the America, just the Europe, just like International. And while even his art was kind of abrasive, he had a unique style, ambush bug. He took the Legion of Superheroes in a very dark direction in the late 80s after they went from their, 60s golden age type hero to like 70s, long hair and sideburns. He made a very interesting dark take on the characters, and he's a hashtag ledge and passed before it was time. So thank you, sir. Thank you, Keith Geffen, for all your work.
Yep. It is definitely a big loss in the comic book world, and he did some absolutely classic shit. So, yeah, that's a good call out. I'm glad you brought that up. That was actually one of the others I was thinking of earlier when we were talking about the Coffin Corner. So I'm glad you brought that up.
We had to, man. He's a good brother.
Yeah, definitely. All right, I have the voicemails all queued up, or at least the first two. We have a two-parter to kick things off, Raven Shadow, and this is from your boy, formerly the Prince of Wales. Now, he's, I guess, the King of England. Let's check in with our boy, Linus.
I'm chuffed.
Hello, Trick or Treat Radio. How's it going? It's Linus. 2 weeks in a row. Fucking hell. Is it VHS 85 this week?
It is.
Yeah. I don't know. Is this a new low for the series? I remember thinking 3 was the worst one. Is that viral?
3
But
was
yeah,
the
I don't know.
worst
I
still.
don't really remember it.
Oh yeah.
But then I don't really remember this one either because it was so fucking whatever. I thought the wraparound was all right with the alien blob boy thing or wherever it was, but everything else was just pretty forgettable. Especially the Scott Derrickson dream serial killer thing. Yeah, fucking shite. Next on the 31 Days of Halloween, I watched The Pope's Exorcist.
Oh yeah,
which was absolute bollocks. I loved it. Fucking Russell Crowe basically playing Father Amorth as a Marvel superhero with with a ridiculous fucking Mario accent. Like it's a me, la exorcista. Yeah, I want to see him team up with Spider-Man or something. He was fucking amazing. I'd take another 10 of those movies. It was
Holy
fucking
shit.
great. I thought it'd just be like, studio horror tosh. And it was, but it was fucking brilliant. And then after that, what did I see? Oh God, I've forgotten. And I can't fucking check my letterbox whilst recording this. Last Voyage of the Demeter. I thought it was alright. It was a bit long. It was kind of pointless because you know what's going to fucking happen anyway because it's a chapter from Dracula. But for what it was pretty good. It's a good movie to have on if you're doing something else like, I don't know, ironing.
Sounds like you, Raven Shadow.
I haven't done any ironing in a long time. Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you have more things to say about VHS 85 than I did, and have a good show. Safe.
All right, Linus, we got a part 2, so let's go to that and hear part 2 from Linus.
Hello, it's Linus again. Sorry, I just checked my letterbox. I remembered the film that I'd watched that I was going to mention. I can't remember what films I've seen these days since Letterbox has existed. I just record them there rather than in my brain. But yeah, I went to see Saw X, Saw 10, and as Saw films go, it was a good one. Having Jigsaw front and center was a good move, and yeah, it was pretty fun. Some of the kills were pretty gnarly. I mean, some of the people who deserved it less got it worse than people who deserved it more, but whatever. And it was pretty ridiculous. Well, even more ridiculous than normal, having Jigsaw around while all this was going on, so that he can try and justify himself by being like, "I'm giving you a chance to, start over." No, you're not, mate. You're asking someone to cut their fucking leg off or whatever, and giving them not enough time to fucking do it anyway. But yeah, good fun. And if they do any more in between quills, then yeah, I'll come out for them. All right, bye again.
All right, Linus. Awesome. Yeah, I've actually heard a lot of good things about Saw X. I was just about to ask MZ if he's curious, but he stepped away for a moment. But what's your relationship with the Saw franchise, Raven Shadow?
I saw the first time I saw it when it was called 7.
They have what?
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the Saw movies?
Yeah, I saw the first one in theaters.
What
man.
about 7 has puzzles that you have to get out of or you die?
There wasn't a fair. Yeah, man. Like I've said it before, I'll say it again. Like, do you want to play a game? No, I don't. I don't want to play a game.
Well, typically you don't have a choice.
But I don't. But if I'm asked the question, my answer is no.
Yeah, but 7 has nothing to do with Saw. I don't know where that even fucking came from.
Because it was good. No, Saw's not my gimmick. I saw the first one in theaters. I like Carrie Elways. It's good. It's fine. It's not my gimmick. But I love Linus. I want to put him in my pocket and have adventures.
A little pocket Brit.
I do. I want to put him in a fanny pack, and I'd give him like some stuff. I'd give him like a little bed in there. I'd give him like a little what do you call that? Padding, and we could walk around and do stuff.
Wow. You wouldn't actually just want to hang out with him, like in real life? You want a little version of him?
I do want. No, I do. I just want to own him.
Wow, I don't think that's legal anymore, Raven Shadow.
We won the war. That's fine. No. I love Linus. Linus makes me smile. He makes me chuckle. I am chuffed whenever I hear him speak, and he calms me down. So Linus, message me in real life, please.
Call me like daily.
Touch me.
Oh God! All right, MZ disappeared.
Yeah, more spaghetti in the microwave.
Yeah, probably. Let's go on to the next one, and let's hear from
Carlitos.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio, it's Carlitos. How you guys doing?
Hey, buddy.
I wanted to give you guys a call and give you my thoughts on VHS 1985.
All right.
Yes, of course. I don't know how good that Emmett Brown impersonation was, but there it is. Anyway, yeah. VHS 1985 or 85. This was a treat for me. I would even say it was probably one of my favorite entries in the franchise.
Kind of like MZ?
Is it better than 2? I'm still thinking about that. As blasphemous as it may sound. But yeah, I thought it was great. I like the 80s aesthetics. It wasn't, I don't know how you say it, but it was able to capture something like recordings, VHS recordings, commercials, and how a recorded VHS tape would be. Because I have a lot myself. I think I still have, well, probably at my parents, but I still have a bunch where I was recording movies off of TV and all the commercials were left in and all this other junk, and then you record over and then there's stuff anyway. But you know what I mean. And I thought the wraparound story was probably one of the best in my opinion. It was kind of creepy. And although it did kind of end how you would expect it to, but I find it probably one of the more memorable wraparound stories of the whole franchise. I also liked how at least a couple of them connected.
Yep.
Which I will say, it was probably weaker entries. It's not that I didn't like them. I just wanted to know more about the 7 people, the cult 7, the 7 cult. And the lake and the water and the reason for it being or doing what it does. I thought all the entries were really good. Big props to the Spanish-speaking segment. I really want to... the director of that segment has also directed a segment in, I think it's another horror anthology called... Satanic Hispanics, which I learned about from Rachel's podcast.
Yes.
I think it was More Deadly. Well, it's on the Zombie Girls feed, but it's More Deadly, I think. And they had a really good interview with the director there, and check that out if you guys haven't already. But yeah, overall, this is a treat for me. I was very entertained by it. And that's it. Yeah. That's it. Don't watch Scare Package 2 because that movie is ass. And on my ratings, on my ass rating scale, ass. And that's if it's bad. Ass. It's how you say it. Or if it's good, or no, if it has a lot of booty in it, then you say ass. All right. And then I haven't figured out what would a good ass sound would sound like on this rating system. But anyway, I gotta walk my new puppy. Her name's Layla.
Nice.
I didn't name it. That was her name already. I probably would name it something more, I don't know, darker themed, I guess. But yeah, she's cute. She's a good dog. Best nighttime dog ever, or pet. But anyway, yeah. I you know what? I'll just see myself out. All right. Talk to you guys later.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Carlitos got a new pup. Layla, is that what we said? I think he said Layla. That's awesome.
What a good brother.
Yeah. All right, Carlitos. He has a part 2. So we'll get to that. But glad you dug the flick, and it sounds like the wraparound worked for Carlitos, which is good. I didn't hate it. I just feel like it probably would have worked better as a standalone, not a wraparound. But I mean, the way it was filmed lent itself to see it, multiple times like that. So I guess, I mean, it wasn't a terrible choice. I just, I don't know. I just feel like it would have worked better for me if it wasn't split up like that. So, all right.
That's killer. And I gotta share. I started listening to that episode of Zombie Girls, but I stopped because I know of MZ's love for that movie, and I figured we'd eventually maybe be doing it. So I did. I stopped listening to it, but
yeah,
I'm
I
glad
think
the
it's
Zombie
coming.
Girls getting a lot of love this week from myself and others. And we actually got to mention in a recent episode too, with the reference to the apartment complex and the security tape.
Security tape and the roaches and whatnot.
Yeah. So we got a little shout out for that. That's still a work in progress. So yeah, big love to our friends over there. The Zombie Girls podcast. Check it out. They are like us, but way more smarter
Way
and more
smarter.
attractive.
Yes, definitely. I got to hang out with Rachel last night. She came on the Star Wars podcast, and we did a live show, like a wrap up for Ahsoka.
I heard. I was talking to Rock the other day. That's nice.
So, all right, part 2 for Carlitos, and let's see what he has to say here.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio, it's Carlitos again. Real quick, I just wanted to mention in the VHS murder tape segment, the one that tells the future of the future crimes with the goth kid in it. The detective guy with the mustache, that's actor Freddy Rodriguez, who any Grindhouse fan would know is the actor that played the El Rey character in the Planet Terror portion of Grindhouse. Or if you probably just seen Planet Terror, then it'd be Planet Terror. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Just wanted to point that out. That's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
That's a great call out. I didn't catch that. Did you catch that, MZ?
No. As soon as he said the name, I knew exactly what he was going to mention.
Yeah, so he played El Rey in Planet Terror. All right, yeah, like I definitely didn't recognize him. The mustache, I think, threw me off. But that's pretty awesome. That's a good call out. So appreciate that, Carlitos. All right, we got one more. We're gonna play catch up with our good friend Arkham Josh.
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guys, it's Arkham Josh. Sorry it's been so long. Things have gotten kind of hectic. But I figured I'd try to give a really quick call in and catch up. Let's see here. I think this week's film was VHS 85. And I'd actually been looking really forward to this one. I remember hearing about it a while ago and some of the people involved. So I was really kind of hoping, looking forward to getting a chance to see this, and it didn't disappoint. I really enjoyed it. I feel like, on average, usually with a VHS film, there's always one that stands out where you're like, this either doesn't fit the time period or something like that. And I think for the most part, they all did that well on this
I agree.
one.
Yep.
I thought all the stories were interesting. They were well constructed. My only complaint would have to be that Scott Derrickson couldn't keep his story to a 4:3 ratio, which kind of blew his whole thing. Even technically, he has one of the strongest stories, but for some reason they insisted on doing it, 16:9, in a video format that wouldn't have been available, to most people or to anybody in 1985.
That's fair, yeah.
So
Yeah, I think Ian mentioned that too.
there is that issue. But other than that, I am going to give VHS 85 a treat and recommend. I really enjoyed it. I actually watched it twice. So some really good stories in there. Last episode, Talk to Me. Really quickly, another treat and recommend. I saw this in the theater.
Oh, nice.
I thought it was a lot of fun and had some good scares, some good characters. So treat and recommend. Week before that, No One Will Save You. Also a treat and a recommend. I thought this was a well-constructed story. I like the conceit that it has no, real character dialogue. I don't know. I thought the whole alien thing was done well, and most of the digital effects even worked well. So, No One Will Save You. Another treat and a recommend. Last Voyage of the Demeter. Tepid treat and tepid recommend. It had a lot of good things going for it. It's the CGI that killed it for me. The fact that the Dracula character didn't look the same from scene to scene, yet there was no discernible evolution of the character, because he would start looking one way, then look another way, and then look back more towards the earlier way. I don't know. That aspect just didn't work for me. It seemed sloppy. Seemed like they probably went in and tried to change things after the fact with CGI, and that just didn't work. I could have done without the ending as well. But I know why they put it there. They're trying to build something. But yeah, tepid treat, and if it pops up on a streaming service you're already paying for, you might as well watch it. And I think the last one I got to catch up on is Perpetrators. A lot of really interesting ideas kind of thrown in a blender, and they don't really flesh anything out, and I feel like none of them are properly executed. So it's barely a trick, because it looks good, the acting's good. I just feel like they threw too many ideas in and weren't able to work them out.
Yeah.
So barely a trick and not a recommend. I think there was actually a couple more that I missed, but now I'm going back kind of far. So, hey, I hope all you guys are doing good. Sorry it's been so long that I haven't been in touch.
No worries,
and,
bud.
I don't know. I'll be able to get back to being in touch more often. All right? You guys have a good one. Bye.
All right, Josh. Always great to hear from Josh, and caught up on a lot of flicks there. Great to hear his opinions. You guys have any thoughts?
Oh, for real, man.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Fucking Linus, Carlitos, and fucking Josh, all good brothers and dog lovers. So we love hearing from those guys. So absolutely.
That is true. Yeah. Let me just make sure we didn't get any new ones. Nope. And let me just make sure I got them all. Think so. Yeah. I think we are clear. So, all right. That's it. So why don't we say our goodbyes, starting with MZ.
Arrivederci.
I'm looking at the chat real quick. We have one comment to read. Our buddy Dr. Chris says, hi guys, and good episode. Had the stunt man from this movie on the show recently. I assume he means VHS 85. Good news, 16th anniversary this weekend. Bad news, lost my Facebook page to hackers. Oof. That was a fucking roller coaster. That comment, geez. Some good news, some bad news. Happy 16th anniversary, Dr. Chris. That's fucking outstanding. And I'd like to hear that episode with the stuntman.
Yeah, for real.
And I will see you this weekend.
Oh, nice. You're going to see, yeah, that's right. You'll see him at Monster Expo.
Yep,
Cool.
I will.
So, Dr. Chris, as always, good to hear from you. All right. Now, Raven Shadow, you're up. Say goodbye.
Yeah. For this time, until next time, see you guys in the emergency room.
All right. It's, hey, all right. That's cool.
All right, well, may the wings of liberty never lose a feather. I'm trying to fucking do something new.
May the force be with you.
And also with you.
Also with you.
You ever try that one?
Well, go fuck yourself. How's that? That's my new fucking sign.
Wow. All right. So let's see here. I thought there was one other thing I wanted to mention before we went off the air. So, well, this is just for us. You guys, the hosts. We need to figure out our Halloween show. So just that's like a reminder. Not now, not after the show, but maybe this weekend we'll figure out how we're going to do that. And
oh shit, yeah, we need a Halloween show and the Devil's Night show. Yeah,
well, it's the same. They're one and the same.
No.
All right. Well, I think that's it. If I think of whatever else I'm thinking of, I'll maybe say it next week, or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll never say it ever again. But that is going to do it. So, yeah, next week we will be talking about the film Totally Killer. And in the States, you guys can find that on Amazon Prime. So give that a look and let us know what you think. If you get a chance to check it out, send a message to podcast@trickortreatradio.com. Keep an eye out for or an ear out rather, for the new Patreon exclusive. It'll be coming out in a couple days. And yeah, if you want to hear myself and my cohorts on Force Insensitive, joined by Rachel from the Zombie Girls, also known as Rouge One on the show.
Ooh, that's good.
It's pretty good, right? Yeah. You can go ahead and tune into the most recent episode of Force Insensitive if you want that bullshit in your ears. All right. That's it. So next week, Totally Killer. We'll see you then.